This hangout is on air. Welcome, everybody. This is Conspiracy or Not. Here we come. We are back from our little vacation. I'm with the lovely Amy, my pal Ian, and we have Mr. Mark from Global Agenda. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Glad to be here finally again.
Yep, it is yet again. It's 7 o'clock. It is Friday, May 26th, and we've have plenty of things to discuss. We've got some silly events have been happening lately, and you know, we kind of took a break at just about the right time because things sort of calmed down for a little while, and then last week, you know, we had the another car rampage in New York, which is a real head scratcher for virtually everybody who looks into these things. And obviously we just had the Manchester bombing, which we are going to dissect in its entirety this evening. But I think we're going to start with Times Square. And once again, we've got Mark with us. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good, Aaron. And Amy and Ian, I know we've just chatted, but welcome back. Glad to be here.
Nice to have you here, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat so far. There's a few people. Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, so listen, all these things that keep happening, every event, whether it's a shooting, whether it's a car, whether it's a bombing, the end result is almost always the same, and that is new laws, new legislation. We got to protect the people, and we need more police, we need more body armor, we need armored vehicles, we need, you know, rocket launchers for the police. They need rocket launchers. They need Bearcats, you know. And this is happening around the world. All the Western countries are militarizing their police, even countries that you wouldn't think, you know, Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands. Every Western country is completely militarizing their police. In fact, I just heard today that Japan, of all places, that has not seen a single attack by Islamic State or Al-Qaeda or anybody of that nature. As a result of the Manchester attack, I use attack in quotes, Japan is now considering anti-terrorism laws or something like that. They're you know, boosting their police force as well. So I wanted to throw this point out there. I want to get your guys' take on this. You know, a lot of people, including PK is one of them, and I'll just use that as an example because he's the most recent that I heard mention about, you know, the police state. There's a lot of people suggesting that all of this, that the main agenda is all about the police state, which is partially true, but I don't think anybody goes beyond that. It's like they don't just want a police state for no apparent reason. I'm of the opinion, and I'll get you guys' opinion on this. I'm of the opinion that all this militarization of our police, even Canada, for crying out loud, you guys cops are starting to look like our cops. It's because, and I was actually talking to Mom about this today, as a matter of fact. I'm of the opinion that this setting up the police state is because there is a big event in the pipeline, that we are going to see something massive that is going to affect all of these countries, not just, you know, not just a 9/11 for America, but it's going to be something big. It's going to be a lot of countries, maybe the whole world. Could be a World War III scenario, could be an worldwide economic collapse.
Well, that's just what it will be. It'll
something
be the
massive is going to happen, and this police state, these heavily armored police, are all being put in place ahead of time before this major event comes.
Yes.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, well, definitely, because they have to, right?
Yes.
Especially in today's day and age, people are more politically awake than ever, and they're more aware than ever. And there's more violence in, and more guns, you know.
Ian, repeat.
They have to build it up around us because they're going to engineer a collapse. So that's my take.
You think it's going to be a collapse? You think it's going to be economic?
Yeah, it'll be the economic engineered depression.
I strongly I strongly suspect that it's going to be less that than it is World War III. I see them, writing the script to, oh my gosh, these guys were, we may have to go beat them up. Oh my gosh, those guys, we may have to go beat them up. It's like never ending. And I'm thinking it is so setting us up for a World War III scenario.
Well, the wars to me right now are just destabilization and putting people in power that they need in power to keep their corporate, to keep the oil companies rich and to keep the bankers rich, right?
Well, that's
sell the arms.
And
that's all war is to me. It's just a racket.
An economic collapse may also come with this, and that's okay with them. People keep saying, well, they're in charge of the Federal Reserve. Why would they want? It's like, look, they also own virtually all the gold, silver, platinum, pick your metal. They own most of it on this planet. So if the monetary system goes down, they don't care. They're still in power.
Of course, but they get more power because then they'll centralize more.
Well, yeah, obviously, between
then it's the whole world's problem instead of just one country or another's problem, right?
Exactly.
It becomes a worldly event where they can centralize their power further.
Yes, no doubt.
Okay, we have somebody in the chat here. Chords 526 has two comments that I want to share. One is that she says, or he says, I think it's, I don't know, looks like a picture of a female. Japanese government is trying to pass the Conspiracy Act. Has been discussed before the Manchester incident. She says, just saying. So I think that's pretty interesting. The Conspiracy Act, really? What is that about? And if you have any more information on that, Chords, let us know. I know you can't drop links in the chat box there, but do what you can to let us know. Tell us where to go look or something like that. Or go to my channel. So I guess you're already on my channel if you're in the live chat. Send me a private message if you have links to send. Chords 526 is also asking, and this I guess is a question for Amy, who probably knows more than any of us. She would like to know what's happened to the All for Truth site.
Oh, well, I'm not really sure, which is really kind of bizarre. We're all kind of scratching our heads. It's back up again. It was down for about a day and a half, and I was told it was going to be upgraded. And when it came back, it was the same place, and it still had some of the problems that it didn't used to have. Like, I can no longer see any of my blog posts. It just brings back a blank page. And, I've asked what's going on there and have gotten sort of a runaround. And at this point, I'm kind of scratching my head and wondering if the whole thing wasn't sort of a setup from the get-go to go this route. I don't know. I wish I had more information.
Okay, so Mark, what's your opinion on the statement I made at the opening here about the reason for the police state?
Well, for me, going back to, I think we can go back as far as pre-Jade Helm, if you want to look at the ramping up of the police state. When I looked at martial law, and when I looked at probably maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, I started looking into the mark of the beast, and I started looking into the 666. My first research came up with the 666 and the mark of the beast and the chipping and the microchipping, and it led me to look at the whole how do they plan on implementing this. And when you looked at the movie Gray State, and now everyone's talking about Gray State, the Gray State with Trumpster and all those guys that are behind the scenes trying to take the Trumpster out, the Gray State, right? And then that director getting snuffed and the whole family getting wiped out in a mass suicide. Even the dog took a round in that one. It all began prior to Jade Helm, whack of videos on Jade Helm. And I said, what the hell is Jade Helm? And I know Dabu, and you know what? Chew the meat, spit out the bones, right? He does post, you know, info. He's Alex Jones of the internet of conspiracy side. And we were just talking about a Dabu exposing the girl that is actually not dead, and her mom's going, why is her picture front and center on the mirror? And we've got that linked up. But going back to Jade Helm, you can go back to Jade Helm, and what I found out was all about artificial intelligence, and
Yes.
it was all about selling the story en masse. And then I have a link, and I shared it with you guys in Skype before the show, and it's on my last video. And I ended my last video, that one that's posted today. In my last 5-minute rant, if you recall, I talked about all of the terror attacks that have happened since Charlie Hebdo. Go down it, and then you go over to the Bilderberg link that I sent in that video, and it was all about how they were planning on initiating the next, so the Pike, World War III, the third letter of the World War, and they're going to need the police state. They're going to need martial law. And when I was looking it up 6-7 years ago, what shocked the hell out of me, amount of plastic coffins that you can put 6 people in, that they have stored around these train yards that turn into Walmart FEMA camps if needed. And that guillotines inside some of these institutions, and that was for the people that aren't going to take the beast. Believe it or not, I think with everything that's coming, the way they're closing in on our privacy, squeezing us out on the internet, and now, you know, the whole backpack scenario that we're going to talk about later on, your rights and freedoms are just being squeezed away to the point that they're going to not try, it's on the agenda, you know, the chip and the whole, right now with the artificial intelligence and how they're controlling the story through media and through just 3 or 4 stories, and then it goes viral. We can see how they can manipulate the storyline, and that's why these hoaxes are just going on, and they're going to need the police state. I think one of my letters, one of my commenters, if we don't need a police state, if first name, last name, in all of the hoaxes, false flags, due to the nature of the crimes, local police would no longer be needed to investigate, would they? And I just replied back, and this was one of my quickies because I've been busy today, and I just said, the majority of police forces are packed with Freemasons, so the top brass know that they can cover for thy masters. No need to investigate when nothing really happened. Peace. And that's what I sent back, because you know what? The police forces, I worked in corrections for 15 years. This is where I began my tour of who are the Freemasons, who are the Illuminati. And a number of years later, you can go back to probably 88, 89, when I started asking the question, who are the Masons? Why are all these jail guards that I work with knowing the handshake? Why are all these lieutenants, captains, deputy superintendents leading up the cherry tree? Why do they all have the Masonic ring? Why do they all have this code? Well, because you can go back to the Knights Templar. They were the police force. They were the assassins. They are the ones that Trump has on his side right now, and that's the police state. So martial law is upon England right now. It's been upon France. And I thank you for letting me get this off my chest. And I'll take a breath now. And the police state is upon us. Gray state.
It is indeed upon us. Williamson did a video today saying that they're in somewhat of a partial police state right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
France is using the Manchester bombing to extend their what is it? The
Curfew.
Emergency.
Curfew.
State of emergency.
Curfew.
Right. Yeah. And then and then I also heard something about the Japan thing that they were also taking cues from the Manchester bombing and putting in place anti-terrorism laws or something like that. And I don't have the details on that. I'm just repeating what I heard. So
they need it to affect the whole world, right? Because they include witnesses from all the countries, right? And
yeah,
you know, like they have to include it's all everybody's problem, right?
Yep.
So that,
well,
that
they don't
controversial bill.
What's that?
Yeah, sorry to talk over you there. I said I just sent that link. That controversial bill, it says, was approved by the Aid cabinet as recent as March 2017.
Wow.
Japan's Diet approved the treaty in 2013, but was unable to ratify it without law covering criminal conspiracy. As of December, 187 countries and regions have signed the treaty. The controversial conspiracy bill approved. Revised organized crime law so authorities can crack down on individuals and organizations who conspire to engage in serious criminal activity. So that's what came up on, that's what the search engine's showing you right now.
Yeah. It says the conspiracy charges apply to groups of 2 or more people where at least one person procures funds, supplies, or surveys a location in preparation for committing a crime.
So that, if there's something else to that story, then that's, you know, that would have, I would hope that would have not been in the fake news slot.
The question becomes, what do they consider crime?
Well, yeah, serious criminal activity. What do they consider that? Right?
Yeah, how is that defined? Because let's say they make shows about their wrongdoings a crime, a serious crime.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look at those conspiracy or not people. We got to go arrest them. We got to put them away in you know, the back rooms of the back rooms, you know. It's like, gee, it sounds good, but that's the way they always do these things. They sound kind of good, but then you gotta get your definitions before you can
like
decide.
the Patriot Act. That's the most.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yep.
You know, one of all.
Yep.
Yeah,
but they could use this in dissent. Like they could make dissent against the government. You're actually working for your enemies. You see, they've already done that to the truth community as well. They've made it seem like if you're against the
if you're not with us, you're with the enemy.
You're with Russia. You know, then you're helping the terrorists. You see, they turn it around. They spin it.
Sure.
Yep.
They tried that with Pizzagate. Remember the whole fake news thing that was going around, and how the rhetoric started to sound like anybody putting out anything other than, you know, mainstream is fake news, and that's hurting our national security, and you're putting people at risk. And look what happens. Somebody goes down to the ping pong and shoots up the floor tiles.
Right.
And they blame it on us.
And then gives himself up in the middle of the street and says, I was only checking to see if they were keeping, the pedophiles were keeping the kids in there. Officer, I'm sorry. Yeah. Here's my gun.
That's so stupid. Yeah, so dumb.
Meanwhile, if that was a movie theater, you're going to get them and shot them up, man.
Yeah.
It seems
I was
so
just
ridiculous.
getting my pizza and checking to see if the pedophiles were in the basement.
Where are you keeping them?
That's not over yet.
I was just investigating. It's, you know, my AR-15 is my main investigation tool.
Yeah, right.
We don't know if any of it.
Nice.
The whole thing is such a farce and such a.
Yeah, I forgot my notepad, but you know, I just got, you know, I usually do my investigation with the barrel of a gun.
Right. That's isn't that how all investigations are done?
Yeah. But that's back to your police state. Aaron, that's back to your police state right there. It comes full circle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think the ultimate reason is then, that they would create a police state around us?
Like I said, I believe that there's a major, probably worldwide event in our very near future, and they have to have their police state in place before this event happens, because the pitchforks and the torches are going to come out.
Well, yeah.
It's going to be massive civil unrest. I mean, it could be something simple. It could be economic. It could be a World War III scenario. It could be a massive, look, I was talking to Mom, and I was saying, look, there are, you know, predictive programming indications suggesting tsunami, right? There's lots and lots of tsunami indications if you just have the eyes to see. And one of the ways you could actually create a tsunami is, well, there are many places under the ocean that they could detonate a bomb and create a massive landslide.
Oh, yeah.
Or perhaps they could even detonate a massive bomb and create the wave simply that way.
That's what I was thinking.
And then the media will say, look, it was a meteor. You know, a meteor hit the ocean, and everybody...
Mother Nature,
everybody duck and cover. Here it comes. So, you know, something big like that happens. Look, imagine if a massive tsunami hit the East Coast, right? Wipes out all of New York, right? The major financial center of America.
Let's not think
wipes out Victoria PC.
Well, I mean,
Victoria PC gets wiped out.
That would.
Sorry, Ian. Sorry, bro.
I got my swimsuit ready in my bug-out bag.
Snorkel? You got your snorkel set?
Yeah, you're gonna need a snorkel.
You know what, Aaron? No, I need to cut you right there. Cut you right there because you led into it. Let's rewind. Here's one of the biggest psyops going on. Hi, Bernie Trump. I see you right there, bro. You're still keeping him up, I see. Fukushima. That is the biggest non-mainstream story outside of probably the Democratic dude that got sniped, that got shot twice, and then the police snuffed him off in the Washington hospital after.
Steph Rich.
Rich.
Steph Rich. Yeah, I had him in my top 10.
The doctors snuffed him out.
A while ago, I did that video a while ago, and I said, thank God it's coming back home, right? But we're too busy looking down other rabbit holes to give the old rich kid, you know, the time on our side. But other report, and these guys keep pumping it. So that's good because that guy got snuffed, okay? But that's where it all began for Hillary too, right? Hillary had some serious radiation issues when she went over to Fukushima, but she had to go and put her foot down on that ground zero there, and then all of a sudden her hair's falling out and she's having brain seizures, and you know, she's having fights with this guy in her plane in Iran. It's just like kerfuffle. Go back and look at Hillary Clinton videos. Conspiracy. Japan with their little conspiracy, because if Fukushima right now, really, Ian, I know you're on the West Coast, but guys out there on the West Coast, and you know what? Who's our guy there? The doctor. Who's the doctor that's out in Seattle there? Aaron, you called him out after you saw my video. Who's our doctor? Who's our doctor out there? Dr. Mount. Dr. Mount's out there. He's saying that there's nobody in the ports because all the business is left from. So he's out there showing video of him standing by the port of Seattle, and there's no ships out there because they're all gone away. Yeah, they've all gone away. But going back to the radiation, whatever there's fish, like literally with the Simpsons predictive programming. You look at, just Google search Fukushima fish, and not so much on Google, maybe try it on Go Duck, because Google, they're not so friendly with our searches anymore, right? But seriously, there's some weird stuff coming out of that Fukushima. That's why the Japan want to control it with the little conspiracy. The plane.
What's that?
Is that chemtrails going by?
It sounds like somebody breathing on the line.
I'm not outside yet.
Yeah, whoever tapped into our line had his microphone right up against his nose.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into this. Let's start off with Times Square. You know, this is a real head scratcher we've all been screaming for I don't know how long, years, that every time an event happens that there's no CCTV footage, there's nothing. There's no cell phones. You got hundreds and hundreds of people at all these events. You know, Bataclan had 300 people, right? A bunch of LGBT people, and really nobody's got a cell phone footage of anything going on, really, right? Westminster, cameras were shut off, right? 2-3 days before the event. They didn't have the money. They had to shut the cameras off.
Right. Sure.
Right. You got how many billions of dollars you give to Israel every year and how many billions of dollars you guys spend on war and police armament, but you can't afford to keep a few cameras at the parliament running? Yeah. Really? Those cameras? I mean, it'd be one thing if it was on the outskirts of town, a couple of cameras got shut down, but really? Those cameras? Yeah. So we scream our heads off. Where's this camera? Where's the CCTV? We're paying for it. It's tax dollars that pay for the CCTV. Security cameras all over the cities and all over every Western country lately. So here we have this Times Square event, and what do we get? Literally a day later, what, 10 or 12 or more CCTV camera, security camera images following this car. So what are we to make of this? Looks pretty real, Mark. I mean, I know that you've suggested that it was CGI, but there are some other interesting factors that I'm going to bring to point out here that other people have brought to my attention that I'm going to highlight here this evening. So Mark, feel free to screen share, or if you want, when I do a screen share, you can show me what makes you think that this is CGI. So what is it? What did you see that has you seem to be convinced that it was CGI?
So am I.
And yeah, 100%. And I think I don't need the screen share because you can just, probably my last 12 videos, if you go into my playlist or my videos, that I've called it a couple times. And that's exactly the pin on the point of the head, what you just said there. We had the Westminster horrible TV footage of the chick getting bounced over the drink there, and then she died a few days later, unfortunately. Hope she's okay on Pedo Island. But that, see, they were waiting for, every action has a reaction, right? So they were waiting for of that, because London is probably one of the most CCTV'd. Well, we've heard it. I've got a great, and I'm gonna probably post it, or I might even do a mini video on it. I have a great Scientific America from 1958, and when I opened it up, London traffic lights. I go, wow, this is cool. So I've got a Scientific America from January 1958 that shows London's traffic lights and what they were. They were like those lights that we see now. I see them in Toronto. I see them all throughout the cities now, where the tickets, right? You go through the yellow and you get a ticket, right? So they've got this. It looks like one of those, only it's probably twice the size in this Scientific American. And I just said to my brother-in-law, I go, Bob, even back in 1958, they were telling us that London was going to be like ground zero for 1984 for surveillance. And London, you know what I said in that video about the chemtrails, you're being so dumbed down over there because you've got all of these cameras everywhere and they're not doing anything for your tax dollars. They even had to turn them off. Still running because we've got video showing they were running the day of what was it? It was March 22nd. It was the 322. They were running. We've got video footage of them running.
Really?
No. Yeah. I did a video. I've got video clip of the camera taken that morning at like 10:38. Beautiful HD picture. And it's just the same with what's going on here. Randall Flagg and
it came from the CCTV. Is that what?
Yes. And the picture was by, if you look down, it was by the aquarium. If you go to Google search and you look at the four corners there where the Westminster Bridge happened with Big Ben and that, and Parliament, there's actually an aquarium there, a London aquarium, because I'm relating that into my little Toronto aquarium theme as well, because we've got the aquarium right beside the CN Tower down in Toronto, and they have the aquarium right down in their hub by Big Ben, and the camera was, the photo was taken in that area because on Google searches showed that. So actually take a person, Randall Flagg, who lives in Manchester, he and I are talking on my videos, and he says, Mark, they can take of you walking from one end of Manchester to the other if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It is camera state. We all know that. London, for last 5 to 6 years, we all saw the London experiment come into our own cities. All of a sudden, it was cool to have these cameras and everything. And it's run by a company, and I always give Able Danger a plug because I searched out the company called Serco about 4 years ago, SERCO. They run the camera systems throughout the big cities in the world. They also use it for security purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you 2 examples. Recently, you know, the Atlanta Bridge collapse, and then the following Monday, the attorney was gunned down in the street, and we have at least 3 or 4 different camera angles showing the guy who supposedly killed her running away. Of course, there's no footage of him doing anything, but he runs a block or two, takes a turn, goes a block, takes a turn, and the cameras are following him, and they show you all these different angles. Here he comes, there he goes, takes a turn. Oh, here he comes, there he goes, takes a turn. And then I'll give you another example. You remember, do you remember the affluent kid, the rich kid who his lawyer, I can't remember the details. His lawyer argued that he was too rich to be punished for what was it he did? He killed some girl drunk driving or something like that. And then him and his mom disappeared to Mexico, right? Do you guys remember this story?
Is related to Romney or something?
Yep.
Okay. Well, when they caught the mom and the son in Mexico, they splashed their picture and video all over our, American television, and they were caught at a freaking cafe in some dirt town in Mexico, and there was 3 separate security cameras that caught them, 1 or 2 in the store and 1 or 2 outside. There were at least 3 images. Here they are going in the store. Here they are ordering their food. Here they are on the sidewalk. And I'm like, wait a minute. You got all this freaking security camera footage of these guys in freaking Mexico, but we can't get any security camera footage of anything in Brussels, right? The Turkey nightclub bombing. Nothing anywhere. You name it. You just name it. We can't get shit anywhere. But they got 3 different cameras on these 2 jerk-offs in Mexico at some freaking sandwich shop. It's just,
that doesn't make sense now, does it?
Come
Mark, if you remember the Ottawa Parliament shooting?
Yeah.
Remember the
CCTV video, right?
Remember the video we got? Like, come on.
So the Ottawa one was that's outside the Parliament building. So that's where your security dollars are going. CSIS is there. They're just down the street, right? Our Canadian CIA is CSIS.
CCTV camera I've ever seen.
But the best one about that, and I didn't answer your question, Aaron, and I will answer your question about why I'm totally convinced it was CGI, and it was just going back to the Ottawa, and then I'll flip forward to why after the Westminster, the bridge, right? So the Ottawa one, the best footage was when he got out of the car after he stole the car, after he rampaged and killed the soldier up on the War Memorial. He ran and stole a car and pulled up to the Parliament buildings. And as soon as he got out of the car, the best was the dude that just before he has a chance to run in front of the guy or run away from the guy, he runs in front of the guy as he's getting out of the car. The crisis action runs in front on the
Yeah, he went.
TV, and I busted that. I said, you had a chance to run left and you ran right. It was like he was his fullback, and the sniper was his running back. So imagine that analogy, okay? Around the corner, I'm your fullback. I'm going to take out the first cop. But yet he was a business guy with a briefcase, and he goes running in front of the sniper. It was the best. It was the best footage.
Yeah.
It's New York. Okay, so I didn't realize it, but I busted my boy Andrew. Dude that had backpack on, and he says, you know, I'm an honest guy. Then he starts telling his story. That guy was awesome. He's gonna go down in my top 5, I think.
Sure.
Yes.
He's great. And then someone sends me a link and says that Russian vids put a video out about him getting his feet run over, and I go, what? So I went and I saw it because it happened so quick. You know, you don't have time to analyze this, and I saw that. That's a hoax. I'm gonna do a video on that, and you know, it's done. I'm convinced that one thing I'm done. So I see that, and then I see the guy getting run over, and his feet go under the car, and then he pops back up. And I said he had to go and do his interview now. So he had to get up, and that was that footage, and that's right before the car pops into the standard to the sidewalk stand. Okay, and I saw my man in white talking on the cell phone, not even flinching, and that was, to me, I did that video, and then it got 600 and some odd views, like in like maybe an hour. Boom, it was going crazy, and then it was going good on before it's news, and then it got pulled, because some I'm looking at it now, it got pulled because of the Kingdom of God had the copyright issues to the pay. It was, I got set up, I got done. I used that clip and then for it, and it was Igreja Universal Terreno de Doy, block you in all countries. And then I punched it into the detect language. I go, it says the Universal Church of the Kingdom of God. I go, those guys banned my video. I go, I was telling the truth. I go, so I put that in my video today. I go, Igreja, the Universal Terreno de Dos. I go, Universal Church, the Kingdom of God? Yeah. Oh, you're working with me or against me? Okay? I go, tabernacle.
By the way.
Yeah, so that's me, okay? Ian and Aaron, that's where I stand, okay?
I just
smell what the rock is cooking.
I just want to mention one thing. One of the things that I'm pretty sure it was a shill, was mentioning was, well, the stanchions all damaged, you know, all the stanchions that got hit, they're all damaged. Well, I watched a video today that Anthony 2B backup channel did.
Yeah.
And he walks up and takes a picture of those stanchions, and unless in the last few days they put new ones in, there's not a scratch on them.
The bollards you talking about?
Yeah, the bollards, that's it.
Well,
yes.
I was going to get into that. That's an agenda behind this.
Okay, well, let me just dispel one or two things before we move on to that, because I've got this image on the screen right here. There are a lot of people out there that have had some issues with the shadows on this New York car rampage. And the image I'm showing right now, I just want to clear this up for anybody who takes issue with this one particular shadow that's, you know, to the right of the screen, kind of center, up and down center, and toward the right. You see the light pole, and you see the shadow in front of, you know, there's a guy standing there or a woman holding a white bag or whatever. And this shadow of this light pole goes basically the opposite direction of everyone else's shadows. That is an arm of the pole itself. and the arm is above where the camera is looking. And if you follow the pole to the ground with your eyes, I don't have a pointer, sorry, I just have to talk my way through this. Follow the pole down and then follow the pole's shadow as it moves in the same direction as all the shadows of the people.
Yeah, it is.
And then you see this shadow of this thing in the middle of the road, follow it up the curb, and it attaches to the pole about midway up the shadow.
Yeah, I had seen that. I had seen somebody try to point that out, and I went, no,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't look wrong.
That's a street light.
Yeah.
It's just hanging above where the camera image is snapshot right there. You just
exactly.
You can't see the arm. In fact, you know, the center of the screen where the pointer is, and you see the yellow, you know, walk, don't walk signal there. That little short pole has its own arm sticking way out. So it's not uncommon. That's the street light. It's the arm off of the pole. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah, right.
So on this same video, let me see, I need to jump to 649 up here somewheres. You know, some other people have had issue. The person laying in the street right by the pole there, the shadows, this particular video that I'm highlighting here, this person has, you know, takes issue with these shadows. Let me see, it's 649, come on, up here. 544. And Anaconda Malt Liquor also pointed out that this image dead center of the screen, that's her backpack that seemed to disappear in 1 or 2 frames of the video. Now 49, here we go. The person that made this particular video took issue with the shadow of that light pole, said we should see that shadow go over her body, and there's no shadow on her body. So I
agree.
I'm going to play this for a moment.
Okay.
And
the pole's probably just not that long. It's
what you will see is the shadow from the stoplight itself is actually on her butt. You see the shadow on her legs, and then you see the shadow move on her butt right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see the pole, perhaps because maybe if she moved another inch or two, you know,
it would come up over. Okay, I see. Yeah.
But if you see the light itself, the shadow from the light.
Well, my question there, hold on. My question there is, why is the top part of her tail end there be all bright while the side, lower right-hand side there is dark? I'm trying to, if that's covered by the shadow of the light, why isn't the top part of her tail end?
Let me go back just a little bit here.
Well, that's not where. I mean, you had it sitting where I was talking, but
I'm just going to let this play because he plays it a few times. He backs it up, and you'll see it a couple of times. See her slide into position. Any second here, he'll play it a few times. So he's saying that the light pole itself should be, you know, going over her body. Well, that's actually not necessarily true if you consider the perspective angle. But watch her rear end, and then the shadow creeps onto her butt right there. Boom. But the person making this video, this is a Ortega Blue channel, makes no mention of her rear end. And I even left him a comment and told him what I saw, because I can see the shadow, you know, really literally creep up onto her rear as she moves into the shadow area. Now, I don't know why the light pole itself is not draped over her. Maybe he's right. Maybe it is CGI.
I think it's CGI.
That part.
I'm going to say that because the backpack disappears, and because that shadow doesn't look right.
Okay,
on her.
I want
It
to
looks
point.
like they tried to make it look
Yeah.
kind of like
It's so
it.
grainy and crappy quality. It's hard to tell. Like,
Okay,
Well,
I do want to point out that if you look at her rear end, it almost looks like there's a shadow in the shape of a letter C, right where her butt crack would be.
right.
If you notice, just barely to the
Don't get
right
dirty.
of that darkened letter C shape, there's actually a straight line that goes up and down, vertical. A very perfect,
Yes.
in
Yes.
the pixels, there is a
Yes.
perfect straight line. And to me,
Absolutely.
that would indicate some CGI, some.
Yeah, or at least some editing. Absolutely. Some monkeying around. This would not be considered raw footage.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
yeah, more than likely.
And
Yep.
I'll tell you another thing. Look at her legs when she goes in, okay? See, the shadow doesn't seem to go over her legs, and then her legs just chop off at that, like they're sliding forward, which I don't understand why they would, but it's just odd that they would do that. Right? See, right, there's a place there where you can see her leg across the shadow, and it's still white. There's no shadow on the leg. It's a brief frame there. And that would not happen. You'd see the shadow. You would see the shadow on her foot, her leg, just when it first enters into the area of the shadow. Yes, my assessment. Total video manipulation.
Well,
It also looks like she hits something. She comes to a stop a little bit too quickly, if you ask me.
And Aaron, we've talked about the reflection off the windows and that, how that creates confusion in the shadow.
Yeah.
So would this not have a part to do with that as well, perhaps? Like there's some sort of bright sun glaring right off the window onto her or something?
No. And I'll tell you why, because you'd see it in the shadow. It would brighten up the shadow as well as her before she hits it. You see what I'm saying? No, the shadow looks like a normal shadow, and then she goes into it, and what the shadow does on her does not look correct.
Watch the way she stops. Looks like she bangs into something. Bang, right there.
Yeah.
Almost does, yeah. Or crunches it.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, it does not look real. I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, there's that. And something else I wanted to share, unless Mark, you have something to add.
No, I'm in the camp that it's 100% CGI.
Go ahead.
You said earlier, so yeah, just on this point because I didn't finish because I'm so fired up. The one bad Westminster, and then bad CCTV from Times Square. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to show you that you guys complain about the fake CCTV CGI at the Westminster Bridge. So yeah, make it better. So here you go. So you know what, I said this too. I said this in one of my I said that I listened to John B. Wells, and you know John B. Wells, you know he's I think he may be a little controlled, right? You know, say what you want.
Yes.
But he did have a great question, and you know what his question was? They had so many of these camera angles put together and edited and spliced for the Kingdom of God channel. Oh, they banned me my video. So sorry, I'm having a moment. They
let it out, brother.
Right, I am. I'm cleansing. I'm not with the frogs yet. After the intermission, I'll be with the frogs in Zen. But they said, here you go. And you know what? John B. Wells is right. They had time to go to the CAG, to Disney, to HMV, to round up all these. You know what? I worked in retail. I know how long it takes for me to go into my security cameras and rewind and get that tape of that shoplifter for the cops. You know what? You just can't get. And my cameras, you could tell the guy had a pimple on his face.
Yeah.
It's a shame on them. Get your money back. Ask for your tax dollar back for all those fake cameras for 1984. That's where I stand. Out.
Okay, cool. Well, there are a couple of things I want to point out with this one image right here. We're on Hooked on Your Hoax channel right now, and she points out she's got it circled in red. What do you see in the red circle?
Those steps. It looks like wooden blocks that are.
And there's one under the driver's tire as well. There are 2 sets of step blocks.
Ah, okay, I see. Yeah.
And there, in a minute, I'll play the video a little further, and there are other images from different angles, and you can see the firemen are carrying one, they're getting rid of it, and then you can see the one that's under the car, and it disappears later on. But before I change from this image, I want to also point out something that I think no one else has spotted. So I'll pat myself on the back. Maybe I get credit for this one. Look under the trunk. What do you see under the trunk?
It looks like a muffler or something.
No, not on the ground.
Oh.
Literally on the car, on the bottom of the trunk of the car. Does something look kind of out of place there? It almost looks like a package.
You got the muffler sitting there, right?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't. You're probably more familiar with what the underside of a car should look like than I am. But yeah, it does kind of look like there's something taped up under there.
It almost looks like there's a package taped up under there.
Yes.
That's pretty curious to me. That's not something that is standard, you know, on vehicles. That shape of an object, whatever it is, you know, you just go look underneath your car, go under the back of your car and look underneath where, you know, where below where your trunk would be. And
someday I'll have a car that I can do that with.
and you're not going to see stuff like that. And if I'm wrong, somebody let me know what you think that is. So anyway, let me jump forward here.
That's good. That's good. That's a good one. Yeah, I see it.
I mean, it looks like a package.
It looks like it's a women's beige purse.
You know,
you know, that's my impression. All right, that's, you know what, if I was doing a video, I go, what the heck, the guy dropped this purse. It must be part of the LGBT bad driving agenda.
You know, I forget
the purse. I got my cursor on it right now. That's a purse.
Is there any video footage of this car hitting these bollards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. The one where my buddy, man in white, talking on the cell phone, and he paused to order the pizza and chicken from his wife and said, "Oh, honey, I almost got hit by a car," and he kept walking. He didn't even flinch. Yeah.
That was brilliant.
That's the one that got banned. That's the one that they banned me on it.
Yeah, he just casually walks away.
Went off him. And then I wanted to play Hi-Ho, Hi-Ho. It's off to work, I go.
So did it seem to you like he didn't even notice that anything had happened?
Yeah, he got 2 for flinching.
Yes.
He did.
Really?
I wouldn't.
So he just walked away like nothing had even just happened.
Yeah, you go to my video today, and I got.
Oh, well, that kind of shows you that it's probably CGI as well, then, right?
That's the one. That was it. That was
That's
it.
the point,
they pulled my video. Yeah, that was the point, right, Amy?
That they're using a blue screen or green screen.
And then they staged this vehicle on. They staged this vehicle. They moved it in, set it up, and went.
Yeah. With the blocks, as you can see by the blocks.
It had to have been staged, because what the freak are those blocks doing there?
Yep.
Yeah. I know.
It's jacked up, man.
Up and put blocks on
the car's jacked.
There's a nice close-up right there.
Over or something, I don't know.
And you can see one under the front driver tire, and then.
And it almost looks like they wired the vehicle in place onto that bollard that's
leaning over. Yeah.
leaning over. Yeah, I mean, why would that be there?
Good question.
That,
There it is.
you know,
There,
I mean,
there it is again. Look at those step blocks.
What? Well, that was probably them that put the blocks there so it wouldn't tip.
Now, I want to ask a question, and I'm going to need somebody from New York to answer this question for me. And it might be obvious, but maybe not. I'm also noticing in this picture, if you look straight up, this would be a sticker or decal that is stuck on the fire truck, and it says September 11, 2001. So maybe that's a remembrance thing that they do in New York. Maybe it's standard on fire trucks because they took the biggest hit as the firemen. So I don't know, but there it is. There's September 11, 2001 right there in this image. Right. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the fire trucks in New York were running around with those decals. Right. That could be nothing. Yeah. But without question, there's a freaking step block right there.
Well, unless they just put them under there so that it would reduce the chance of it tipping. I don't know.
Now, this is where Hooked on Your Hoax maybe stepped overboard a little bit. It sounds, what she's trying to show here is a hidden number 7. Kind of sounds like, you know, Jungle Surfer or Russian vids, you know, trying to make shit up. This is nothing. Yeah, that's just, I mean, there's 7s in a million fucking places. That doesn't mean anything.
The seven can, I mean, if you look at most anything, you can find a 7 if
exactly.
you look at it.
Yeah, that's stretching.
Yes.
That stretches it.
Yes.
But yeah. Overall, I like her work, but that stretching thing is a little too far.
Okay, check this in. Okay, not only do we get a good look at the step blocks that are under the driver tire, but look in the very right-hand side of the frame. Look at that fireman back there. The one looking at the camera. He's as happy as a clam.
Oh, yeah, he looks like he's enjoying things. Like maybe he's got some duping delight running all over his face.
Okay.
That thing that was under the trunk, from this position, from this image, kind of looks like it could be a gas tank, maybe. I don't know. Could be nothing. Could be a gas tank. But somebody did a video showing a stunt car and how they have an explosive pack mounted underneath the trunk, and it puts out a smoky, you know, and it causes the rear end of the car to pop up and makes the car flip over forward. Yeah. And that's what we saw in the video of this car hitting the bollards. For some reason, the car starts smoking, and then poof, and then he pops up. So, I mean, it could very well be a very clever CGI, you know, episode. So here, I'm going to jump forward again. There they are again. There's a good look at the step blocks. And somewhere else along here is another image of, there's a good close-up. There's that fireman, happy as can be. Step block under the front tire. Duh. What the fuck is that doing there?
Yeah.
Come on, people.
That isn't something that they go, oh my gosh, we had this horrible accident. Let's prop the car up.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's haul the car off, right?
Here we have the fireman holding one of those step blocks. and look above the passenger wheel. See the other fireman? See, you only see his face. Yeah. Look how happy he is.
Yep.
They're having a fucking good old time.
They are. They're having a blast.
Yeah. No drill. Yeah.
I always did that. That's the big bad bear. Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the clip where I saw the 522 when the cop walks by.
Uh-huh.
Did you see that? Yes. Did you see that in my video where I saw that? Yeah. Got that in your, okay. Because I'm just looking for that screen capture, because what busted it for me about the 522 prediction from the Times Square rampage was when that cop went by, and I wasn't looking for it. I was just watching video, raw video. And then when the cop walked by and he put his hand down like he was behind door number 1.
Yeah, yeah.
He looked like Vanna White. And I go, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
And I go, what?
exactly.
Right? And I go, what the heck? I rewind that. I go, 5222. I go, what? And I go, oh no. And then that video, I go, what's gonna happen on 522? And then boom, 2 days later, Ariana Grande. Yikes. I'm gonna stop looking at numbers. I'm giving up. I'm out.
I want to also point out here, if you look in the very top right-hand corner, you see a white sign that says 1515BR.
Yes.
Yeah, in another photograph, it's 1515 Broadway.
Okay. Brian Hill. Brian Hill put out a video suggesting the subliminal ISIS because the 5 is similar to the S.
Absolutely.
So I just want to give Brian. I want to give Brian props for that.
That's a thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up.
I've been searching for 9/11 fire truck decals, and there is nothing that looks like what we saw there.
Well, here's another angle.
Pentagonal thing, but it's not something they are putting on fire trucks.
Well, here's another angle of this fire rescue vehicle, and it's got the decal there. And if you look, and again, you can see the step blocks. They're in shadow under the driver tire from this angle as well. Okay.
Well, let me try rescue instead of truck.
So this guy's sitting down. He's got both of his shoes off. A couple of people running around with lanyards on. This black woman is carrying these posters that I have no idea what those are. You know, I could guess, but I don't want to speculate as to what they are.
Why not?
You know what, Aaron? That's a great shot right there. You see how she's got the water bottle in?
She's got 2 water bottles. Looks like.
Yep.
Well, she's got one. She's got one for the intermission.
Yes.
All part of the drill, guys.
You know what? Hey, listen. Right, these crisis actors, I know they're getting about $25 an hour, right? So even in the heat, they do have to have their water. Because if you remember at Sandy Hook, they had the houses with the water bottles all by the same area when they did the.
Yeah, well, the FEMA capstone exercise paperwork or documents say that there will be restroom facilities and water.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
And cash paid cash in full.
And look what the fireman's holding in his hand right there. Step block.
A piece of the block from the truck, from the car. Wow. That's good. That's good stuff.
So I wonder if this black woman holding the. I wonder if that black woman. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to say she's holding the storyboard.
Yes, she is. Director.
You know, she might be the set director.
Yeah.
So,
now I noticed that the red shirted people are wearing lanyards.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And look at the lanyard on the black guy next to her. It's got a red triangle at the bottom.
Yes,
we could probably identify exactly. We could probably do some searching and find out exactly what that lanyard is.
Maybe. I'm not sure what.
I wonder if that's a FEMA capstone lanyard right there.
I can zoom in on it. It says lodge number 233.
Okay. All right. So now we come to the guy dressed like a doctor, and I think it has been said that he's a bouncer. This is the guy in the white hair and the blue shirt, unfazed by the crazy guy bouncing and running towards him. He's the guy who helps the police apprehend this character. Right? Now we see this guy in a couple of different locations. There he is in the little thumbnail image in the bottom left area. You see him helping the cops. Got this guy pushed up against. So there he is in 2 shots. Okay. Now, my question is, after he's apprehended, after he's handcuffed, you see the guy in blue later on helping the police walk this guy to the car. And if I can find it in this video, I'll point it out. Because to me, that screams bullshit. After the cops had this guy in handcuffs, they would have told the Mr. Blue shirt, silver hair, mustache guy with the earpiece. And by the way, that could easily be a Bluetooth phone. A lot of people say, he's wearing an earpiece. Somewhere you see this guy helping the police walk the perp to the police cars. Driverless cars, bollards. Oh, yeah, and the bollard thing. You know, bollards are big business. And when you're talking about governments around the world, city governments, national governments all over the place with all their city government buildings to protect, malls, arenas. Now, in a lot of places, malls and arenas already have a lot of bollards in place. You know, you go to Walmart or you go to, you know, Target, and they've got something to keep cars from running through the front door. But nevertheless, bollards are big business.
And they were just trying to pass a bill to insert more bollards in the downtown core in New York, and they couldn't get the bill passed. And then a week later, what happens? I go, oh, look, the bollards stopped that mad driver. It stopped the car, you see. And now they after that, they've used it as their talking point to push that bill further. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to find it, but the guy in blue who helps apprehend this character, that guy right there, is seen in 3 different shots at least. And my big problem is after the cops got this guy in handcuffs, they would have told him, fuck off. We got this.
Yes.
But later on, we see him with the cops with his arm on the perp, and they're all walking away from this scene where they've already apprehended him.
I've seen that, yes. And one thing that kind of amused me, I don't know if we've covered that, but in some shots, the perp is in an inside-out red shirt. And there he is in a brown shirt.
Okay, that's after he goes to the police station, and then they take him, they transport him.
Oh, okay. Because
I want to clear that up as well, because other people have pointed that out. In fact, Hooked on Your Hoax in this particular video also points that out, and I think that is them walking out of the police station, where he must have gotten they must have gave him a freaking shirt out of the, you know, lost and found or something, you know.
You have to wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, why would they?
Why say, here, change your clothes?
Okay. Listen, Mark, you're into these numbers a lot more than I am, but I do notice the numerology. I don't do the gematria, but I do notice the numerology. And this particular incident here, we have 1 dead and 19 people injured. There's your 119. That's your 9/11 backwards.
Yep. Yeah.
Just like in Manchester with 119 injured.
Yeah, and the 1 dead, okay? So you can just leave that one separate if you want. You can go 119, or you can go 1 dead, 9, okay? So the 19 and the numbers change all the time, right? We started with the Manchester Ariana Grande explosion suicide bombing hoax with 19 dead, if you recall, and 22 injured, or 19 dead and 59 injured. And then it climbed up to 22 dead and 59 injured. And then 2 days later, they came up with 22 dead and 129 injured. Like, you remember during the
Psyops, the 129. I saw the 119. They were splashing that one all over the place. It was 22 dead, 119 injured.
Okay, yeah, my apologies. Now that I'm seeing this, because I did make reference to the 19, because when I punched in 19, okay, I got Denver, Colorado. When they said 19 dead, I got Denver's CO as 19, okay? And then Soundgarden was playing on May 22nd, 3 days after their lead boy there, Chris Connor, went down with Cornell University. The rest of my life, it's just the brain work, you know. You correct me. That's good. Cornell University. Yeah, CC33, right? So he passed away. Soundgarden is playing on May 22nd, and we haven't gone into the music yet, which we will, so I should save it. But we had playing in Denver, Colorado, the number 19, very significant. Denver, Colorado, the new CIA headquarters. It's going to be the capital of America when the tsunami of all tsunamis hits either the East Coast or the West Coast, or comes down the middle and separates the United States and Canada in two. You decide. I don't know. But the 19 is very important. So they laid it out first 19 and then 22. And I jumped on the 19 right away, and I said, it looks like it's Denver, Colorado, Soundgarden, and then we had the Cathedral Garden with the controlled explosion 15 minutes after they had said there's an incident going on at the Manchester Arena. They said we need to do a controlled
15
detonation.
They did a controlled
tweet.
The controlled they did at Manchester was 15 minutes. 15?
They announced it was 2030 something, and then it was 2045 that they announced that they were doing a controlled detonation after they announced that there was probably going to be some deaths at the arena. And then they decided to put this out that they were doing a controlled demolition in Cathedral Gardens. And that's when I got Soundgardens again with the 19, and it goes back. So Denver, Colorado was going to be some, but I don't think they're going to take on their own place. The 19 is definitely significant. So this is a good catch here.
You know, since we're on those numbers, I also want to throw this at you. The 23 is also a major number that has been in predictive programming literally everywhere in almost every freaking movie in the last 5 or 10 years.
Yep.
23 and Mark, you said you're on to the 923 after this, right? So the Manchester attack, the 23 is also coded into this attack, and we have the 119 injured with the 23. All right, you guys have probably seen the images of the girl with the long leg girl, right? People are saying her legs are too long. She has a 23 on her jersey shirt on her sleeve. Okay, she's got 23 on her sleeve. This Manchester event has 119 injured, and guess what I just heard? I swear to God, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. It was a news blurb about Donald Trump's new health care bill. You guys heard this one? The new health care bill will leave 23 million people uninsured. So there's 23. And it will save taxpayers, it'll save the budget $119 billion.
Oh my gosh.
It's fake news. It's coming from the Washington Post and the New York Times and all the ones that are all against Trump to begin with. It's all just propaganda, fake news to make them look bad, to make this bill look bad, because they're leftist media and they want to keep the Obamacare plan.
Yep.
Not that many people are going to lose there. It's all fear shit from the left. It's all Washington Post and.
Well, it's not from the left. It's from the psychopaths in control who are using the left.
Yeah, leftist media.
They're one wing. I want to point out something interesting. I ran the gematria on HM because we've got that H and M there.
Yeah.
In reverse ordinal, it's 33. We're finding a lot of interesting things in the reverse ordinal.
Oh, guess what, Aaron? A man set off a bomb in the foyer at 22:33 BST, British Standard Time.
Yep.
At 22:33, the bomb blast went off. So there's your 23 and 23 again. Or 322.
Okay, you look, the numbers all over this New York are almost identical to Manchester. Here we have the woman that was killed. She was 18 years old. And then later on, I'm going to show you an article from the Daily Fail about the 18-year-old girl that was killed there as well. So if I can, I'm just want to, you guys, I'm not trying to cut anybody off. I'm just really trying to find that one image of the guy in the blue shirt. There he is in red. This is them leaving the police station. You can see the police, the sign on the window behind that cop. They're at the police station. They're walking out. Okay, that's why he's wearing a red shirt. So he's already been to the police station, and now they're escorting him, I don't know, maybe to the jail or something.
Did he have a blue
I just wanted to see if I could, because we're still on Hooked on Your Hoax video. I just wanted to see if she's got the image, and I don't know if she does. Maybe. Anyway, the guy in the blue who helps apprehend him, I've already said it. The cops would have told him to fuck off. We got this. He's in cuffs. Thanks for your assistance. Now piss off. We don't need your help. We got it. Okay. It's not here. And if it is, I'm jumping too fast. Okay, so now here is Daily Fail. Here's the article that I guess all of you guys have seen. Mother of teen, 18, killed in Manchester terror attack, weeps as she lays flowers at vigil for her daughter as thousands pay emotional tributes across UK. This article is full of gigantic, high-quality photos intermingled with little bits of actual text from the article. It's mostly photos, but I have to scroll all the way down here because here it is, I think. 23-year-old man, Albidi, his brother.
Now, what's his name? Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off, but this guy's name's Salman, and this guy here is named Salman as well, and it was all like the same time. Kind of interesting. The guy that Trump was holding on to the orb with.
Well, here we have police also raided a house where Albidi's brother Ismail lived and arrested a 23-year-old man. So there's your 23 there. But I want to get down to this part. It's about 3/4 of the way down this article. All the way down here. Where did it go? Tribute paid to the victim, 3 of the 22. Hang on a second. It might be up here. And I also want to get to this homeless man that they arrested a 23-year-old man near the address where the family had previously lived. So there's your 23 all over this one. By the way, this event started at 10:33. We're on Manchester now.
Yeah. 22:33 is when the blast went off.
I'm just curious. Are we going to be taking a break soon?
Let's see. It's 8:15. I suppose we can.
Okay, I just want to mention that Juxtapose has a nice 4-minute and something piece that would be excellent to offer for break.
Aaron?
Yes.
You know, the one thing that I've noticed in the last maybe 2-3 weeks is the number of people that are now jumping on to these we call them conspiracies or conspiracy
you mean
realities.
New channels? New conspiracy channels?
No. Maybe, but I'm just looking at when you scroll down using your algorithms effectively and you see where your video is in relationship to the side windows, you can see all these videos. And yeah, you're right, there's some newer channels, etc., that are now spitting these things out. The amount that has gone viral from the Times Square to now this one is like a Sandy Hook, a more mature Sandy Hook attack here. And just the fact that the media is just jumping and just like you talk to the ladies in England, and you know, I got a lot of contacts over there, and you know, they're just befuddled at the amount of media coverage over there. It's just like whoresome right now over this Ariana Grande. Yeah, and we're all hearing it too. But what I really like is the fact that there's so much out there now. You just put the right words in, and even the Google algorithms, you can play with them, you can fake them, do whatever. The bottom line is, when you look at it, fire right now. There's a lot of people. I mean, you know what? It's like 0.03% of the population. The fact is that they've got to be running scared because they just keep putting out this trash. I mean, CCTV footage with the Westminster Bridge, and then they go overboard with Times Square crap, and now we got this one where they're not even showing us any footage. And like you said to me in the first 5 minutes of that video, you came on and commented on mine saying, I believe there's not one of these young teenagers. They've got to have footage of something there. And now I go on to their link today. I went onto the Manchester Arena link later on this afternoon when I had free time, and they're still promoting concerts there. If you had a bomb that went off and killed 22 people, including the assassin, and injured 119 people, there'd be carnage.
Yes.
If you Google Manchester explosion, look what pops up. It looks like it was an IRA attack or something. Now that is an explosion. You mean I got that duping delight Bruce guy, that dude from what was his name? That Zach Bruce, laughing his head off while he's being interviewed in front of the friggin' arena. And now I'm looking at his Facebook page right now, and he's got that cheesy smile that after he just did an interview with the press talking about how bad it was, yada yada, and then he puts a smiley face on his friggin' Facebook post. And then when you go over to his Vine, he's flashing the Baphomet symbols and all this crap. I mean, what happened here?
Oh, he's the creep.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they're selling this crap, and people are unfortunately,
you'd think it would be unbelievable, but they're believing it. You'd think. They go, wait a minute.
It's got to be the Amy Charles. It's got to be the numbing and dumbing of the
gotta be.
Did S. Williamson? You said he's got a new video out. Always look in the sky for his videos, because
actually, I
London is getting bled all the time.
I looked at the sky of his new video, and I was actually kind of surprised to see clear blue skies and what looked like normal, natural clouds. But that was
because
just
the people
this time.
Okay.
That was post hoax, right?
Yes. Yes.
That was post hoax. People can wake up now.
Okay, so now
maybe, I don't know.
So I'm still on the Daily Mail article.
Chris Parker, 33.
I'm 85, 90% to the bottom here. It says Chris Parker, 33, a rough sleeper. Now I had to stop and laugh right then and there. What the hell are you talking about? A rough sleeper. Now this is the homeless. This is the homeless guy who is, first of all, there's a GoFundMe page set up 5 freaking hours after the event. 5 hours later, there's a GoFundMe page for this homeless man who helped pull nails from the children's faces and held the dying mother in his arms. Right?
Right.
He's 33 years old, and it's awesome. Parker, right? It's Allison Parker, it's Robbie Parker, it's Chris Parker. Here we have Chris Parker.
Well, Parker's got all kinds of numerology on it, and it's no wonder they keep using it. I mean, the numbers that you can find on Parker just blow me away. Yes.
Okay, well, let's try to read this here. Listen to this. Chris Parker, 33, a rough sleeper. Stop. What the fuck do you mean, a rough sleeper? He's at a concert. Was he asleep? Was he taking a fucking nap at the Ariana Grande concert? Really?
Why did that come
in there?
You know what it should say? Chris Parker, a pedophile sleeping and waiting for the girls to come out.
Yes.
Okay. Chris Parker,
I apologize. I'm offside.
I heard a bang, and within a split second, I saw a white flash. Stop. Guess what? Light is faster than sound. You see the flash before you hear the noise every fucking time.
Yes.
Sorry. Stop.
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue. Then smoke, and then I heard screaming. There was people lying on the floor everywhere. Quote, I saw a little girl. She had no legs. Stop. Where's this little girl with no legs? Where is she? Jeff Bowman's sister? How come the news isn't all over this one? Where's the little girl with no legs? That should be.
Yeah, really.
She should be the poster child for this event. Okay, I wrapped her in one of the merchandise T-shirts. Okay, let me see. A homeless guy. Okay, maybe the girl herself had a merchandise T-shirts. He didn't say where he got it from. Okay, I wrapped her in one of the merchandise T-shirts. Now, that's just a weird way to say that. Anyway.
Yes, it is. It's very scripted.
I mean, to phrase it that way suggests that he pulled it off the rack and said, "Look, we need this. I need tourniquet." Okay, I wrapped her in a merchandise T-shirt and I said, quote, "Where's mom and dad?" She said, "My dad's at work. My mom is up there."
So he's just gonna have a conversation.
So this is a little girl who had both her fucking legs blown off, and she
just calmly
explaining where everybody is.
Yeah, she just tells you whatever you need to know. She's not screaming and wailing and ignoring every question you have for her, right? I mean, if I had my legs blown off and somebody asked me, "Where's your parents?" I'd tell them, "Fuck off. I need an ambulance."
Yeah, you really don't sit here and carry a conversation with me.
Okay.
Get the bloody ambulance.
He said
she would have been dead, missing 2 legs. Give me a break.
He said he thought the child's mother had died from her injuries. I don't know why he would have thought that.
Really? He had no idea where the woman was. He just
Mr.
asked.
Parker added, quote, "She passed away in my arms." So at what point did you leave the child with no legs to go get mom so she could die in your arms? At what point did you do that?
Really?
She was in her 60s and said she had been with her family. "I haven't stopped crying. There were nuts and bolts all over the floor. People had holes in their back." Okay. Evie Brewster, who had been taken to her first concert by her mother, told Mail Online how the boom of the explosion echoed around the arena. Oh, really? You mean through the loudspeakers?
Apparently.
No, the guy was too busy saying to keep calm, everything's cool on the loudspeakers.
In an American accent.
Exactly. An American accent.
Yeah.
Well,
good point.
I think
Good point.
I mentioned that it could have been one of the entourage with what's her name.
But don't you think, Amy, after some serious event happened, I almost left you a comment, but I figured we were so close to going on the show, I would just tell you here now. Regarding the entourage, someone from her entourage was the guy on the loudspeaker. I have a hard time believing that. You would think that the arena would have their own security people, which they do, and you would think that they would have control of the freaking loudspeakers and they would be able to tell people.
Well,
hey,
let's suppose the guy jumped on.
Wasn't it G4S?
Maybe. What if one of the guys? I mean, not that I want to defend this idiotic crap, but what if one of the entourage, heard the bang and knew that it was nothing to get ultra panicked about and jumped on the stage and took one of the mics and started announcing? I mean, conceivably.
Well, because there would have had to have been somebody at the soundboard turning the microphone back on because the concert was over and all the microphones are turned off.
Yeah, they should have been. I agree.
You don't just jump on the stage and grab a mic and talk to people after a concert. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
Was it not G4S security guys?
The G4S, are they the security? I don't know.
Because they're always in the hoax. They're always the security company for the hoax.
Did you guys see any of the chats? Not this one, but information that the security was kind of like stepped down. There was lack of security there. They didn't want to have security there. So yeah. So that's what the guys over there.
What I heard was what I heard was somebody saying that she had gone to some other concert there and like a week or two before, and was really surprised when they, she went in this time because they, rather than really looking through what everybody was bringing in, they just kind of glanced in the bag and said, "Okay, you're okay, go ahead." She was said she was expecting more of a search, which tells me that if she was, one of the real attendees, that they wanted to set this up as a security issue.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely set this one up. Let's go ahead and take a break. It's 8:30. I'm going to play Juxtapose. It's a 4-minute song. And we will be back with Global Agenda in about 4.5 minutes. Amy, you said it was a 4-minute. You're talking about the last one he put up here called Hang? Is that the one?
That's the one, and it's really good. I loved it.
Okay, well, I haven't heard it yet, so I'm looking forward to that. And we will see you guys back here in about 4.5 minutes.
All righty.
All right, that was Juxtapose. That one's called Hang, and I got to tell you, Jux, if you're listening, that's a good one. I do like it.
It is. It's a great one.
It really is a good one.
I noticed that he's got a picture proving the Earth is flat. I couldn't resist. You know, they keep going on about, you know, the rays of the sun. Obviously, it can't be forever away, but they don't understand how light works, I think.
Okay, let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
All right, we are back with Mark, Global Agenda. So, let me just finish this little segment of article here, just what you see on the screen. I don't think I need to read any more than this. This is leaving off from where I was a second ago. Evie Brewster, who had been taken to her first concert by her mother, told Mail Online how the boom of the explosion echoed around the arena. Ariana Grande had just finished her last song and left the stage when a huge explosion sounded. You know, thankfully, ISIS is considerate like that. You know, they won't want to ruin the concert.
They wouldn't want to, no.
So
certainly not.
She says, suddenly everybody started screaming and running for the exit. We could hear the police and ambulance sirens. Stop. Wait a minute. You could hear the police and ambulance sirens that fast?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Really? Okay. There were thousands of people trying to get out at once. They were all screaming and crying. The whole place smelled smoky and burnt. Really, the whole place smelled smoky and burnt. The explosion sounded like it came in, like it was inside the building somewhere. So you didn't see the explosion. You heard it as though it was somewhere in the building, and yet the whole place smells smoky? That's weird. Okay. Jenny Brewster, Evie's mother, said, quote, "We were exiting the building when it happened." All right, now get this, guys, get this. We headed towards the main doors as Ariana was performing the last song because we wanted to beat the crowds. But as we made our way there, a wall of security men blocked it and told us to go the other way. Seconds later, they shouted, "Run!" And the explosion happened right behind them.
Yep.
That's pretty telling right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty telling, Ian. So this Manchester event is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, I've got 3 pages of notes, and I know that Mark has plenty to present. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to allow our guests to have something to say. What do you say, Mark?
Yeah. Where do you want to start with? Where do you want to start? You know, I'm coming out of the chat room right now because I've just opened up my windows. So I'm going to head over here first. So I'm going to talk about. We all heard that Drake, my Toronto boy Drake, played at the Billboard Awards for the Ariana Grande explosion. When you look at the song that he played, it's called Guile Chester, and Ian and I was talking about this in Sidebar before we came on. Guile Chester, Gyal Chester, the court, Chester. He sang this song, and it was the first time he sang it, and it's from his latest album, and he sang it at the American Billboard Awards, and the next night you had the bombing. And when you look at, Urban Dictionary, Guile Chester is the well-known nickname Manchester for the parish of Manchester, Jamaica, West Indies. Man is replaced by Guile to note that there are very beautiful women in this area. This local term was popularized worldwide by Drake and Ovo Unruly. If I go Guile Chester, a guile we I look, that's patois. That's my patois. So Guile Chester, Wikipedia, is a song by Canadian musician Drake from his playlist More Life. The term is portmanteau of a patois spoken word for girl, Guile, with second half of the word Manchester, Manchester Parish in Jamaica, indicating the beautiful women originate from that area. I guess Black Child, once again, Chew the Meat, Spit Out the Bones, did a video saying that my boy from Toronto, Drakester, predicted that it'll predict the programming before the Manchester bombing. Well, anyone see Saturday Night Live the night before? I guess Saturday Night Live was on the 20th, right? Because this happened on Monday the 22nd, right? Nights before, Katy Perry was the musician of choice. And Katy Perry had a little kid dancing in her first song, and she looked like something right out of, what was that movie, Amy, with Beetlejuice? Remember his outfit?
Right.
Remember, what did he wear? Right?
Oh,
what did he have on?
It's been
Who knows what Who knows what he wore in Beetlejuice?
He had a striped jacket, and he had striped pants, right? He had vertical striped pants.
Yeah. Okay. So Katy Perry on Saturday Night Live, the first song she came out and sang was off her new album, and she had this kid they called the Backpack Kid, and the Backpack Kid went viral. So I came in after watching fireworks here in Canada. It was our memorial, our Queen Victoria Day. One of the radio guys says, thank this day off that old bag. Because it's a stat holiday. So I was out watching fireworks and I PVR'd it. I was out golfing with him and I stayed up late to watch it. And I just said, what the hell is this? And I was mesmerized. And the Backpack Kid was predicting the backpack that we saw explode at Manchester. No doubt about it. It was all about the backpack. And I just did a video yesterday about the symbolism between the backpack. My boy Andrew carrying a backpack in New York. And he said, oh, my backpack saved me. The Fort Lauderdale shooter was the Fort Lauderdale shooter survivor that said his backpack and his laptop computer saved his life. Right. Stopped the bullet, telling Anderson Cooper that. And then the backpack from the Boston bombing. And then the backpack here from, and the footage, they got the worst grainy CCTV footage again. Oh my God, was from the mall, was from the Sheffield Mall. And I'm telling you, I worked in retail. I told you I could pick a zit, a little hockey player trying to steal my gloves in my hockey store. I could pick a zit off his forehead. I busted staff stealing with me with my cameras. That camera, whoever took that camera, talk to your head of your internal security and upgrade your cameras, because you did the world no justice by showing this Salam Abedi, what is his name? This little suicide bomber terrorist. He did a
Salam Abedi.
He's a Muslim terrorist. He's a Muslim terrorist. This Salam, the video footage, just, if you remember Brussels bombing, I called it the curse of the Pink Panther. Do you remember the grainy footage of the two bombers and the one that had these little Clouseau glasses on? And I said, I go, are you serious, Brussels? You just spent billions of dollars with the Mossad. The Israeli security systems went in there and helped your security out. They gave you bad cameras.
They gave you potatoes for cameras.
I'll donate my little.
Yeah.
I'll give you my little Life is Good. I'll give you my Life is Good cell phone, and you can leave it up in a corner. Yeah. Okay, you can plug it in so it's charged all the time, and that'll give you better. And it's $129 at Walmart.
No kidding.
All right.
Anyway, I'm ranting about the CCTV thing. Seriously, it's an absolute joke. So when this terrorist, they showed him he was going to buy backpacks. So fast forward to Boston bombing, or not fast forward, but reverse the Boston bombing. What was our little? They showed him walking into a Target. You said Target earlier. Showing him walking into a Target, buying up 2 backpacks, one for him and his brother. The day before, or 3 days before, he was to do the bombing. This time they showed he was walking into the store to get his nook pack. What do they call it over in Britain? A nook.
Rucksack.
A knapsack.
Not a
yeah, I did.
Not a nutsack.
Anyway, yeah. And then I had the backpack kid, and I missed it because I was memorized. I would have had 5 backpacks in that video yesterday. So I'm here right now saying, seen that comment after. So somebody left me that comment today, and I said, you know, I was just mesmerized by the little backpack kid that it didn't sink into me. You see what the TV can do to you? It mesmerized me. It took global agenda off.
Don't forget our interviewee, Mr. Andrew Jewboy. You know, I'm an honest guy, and I just tell the truth all the time. He said that his backpack saved him too, or he said the car grazed.
It did. He said it grazed him, right? It grazed him.
Yep, it grazed his backpack.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's go. Just rewind real quick to the Gail Chester Drake's lyrics. Okay, so it's from the album More Life. All right. So More Life. When you look at More Life, it was his latest song. Okay, has Drake ever performed this song before? It's on genius.com, which I use for when I decipher lyrics. It says Drake performed Gail Chester inside the Fountains of Bellagio at the 2017 Billboard Music Awards in Las Vegas. Oh my God. So here's where I think that Drake is saying that he's not welcome anymore with the big boys, even though they've set him up, and now it's time to move on because in his gangsta rap, he says, I'm never washed up, but I'm not new. I know I said top 5, but I'm from top 2. I'm not 2, I'm not 1. I got the 1. Nah, Hermes Inc., blue eyes ink. Tat on my ribs like I do not know what is permanent. They want me gone, wait for the kicker. Bury me now and I'm only gonna get bigger. That's the word to my nigga. Bury me now and I only get bigger. Michael Jackson, David Bowie, and Prince, after they died or went packing to Pedophilia Island. What happened to them? Where did their albums go? I'm not saying Drake's on his way out. Their albums went huge. They're more dead than they are alive.
Yeah.
The fights that Drake's been picking with these other rappers, it's all part of his act. It's all part of the script. They said that Drake, my boy from Toronto, was the Toronto Raptors global ambassador for our NBA team. They always showed him at center court sitting beside the bench. He didn't make it to one Toronto Raptors game after January 1st, 2017. The Raptors were just in the playoffs. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, predictive programming of LeBron. Drake was nowhere to be seen at a Raptors game come January 1st, and yet he's supposed to be their global ambassador. Drake, there's something going on with Drake, and this sending the message over to Manchester. He played there at the Manchester Arena in February. He played 2 shows there when you go onto their site. He played February 11th and February 12th. So there's a nice 2-11 and there's a nice 2-1-2. So Drake played there, okay? So he's just part of the whole show-a-thon. And then when you continue over to Manchester Arena, it doesn't even talk about them being closed for action. For Ariana Grande had her little concert blow up, a hoax online went viral because they put it out there. Media Mass said that Ariana Grande died on, I guess it was May 21st, 2017. And all of a sudden it went viral. Actress killed by internet death hoax. This wasn't planted. The 23-year-old actress dies the day before they get a bombing.
You know, on that note, the person who left you that comment, I engaged that person for a little while in your comment section, and I was intrigued, and so I suggested that we test the theory, and I got a few minutes, and I just went to Google and I randomly dropped in celebrity names at random, and I typed in The first one was Randy Quaid, just off the top of my head. Bang, Randy Quaid, death hoax. And up came the same website with virtually the same write-up. It was posted or it was edited that day. And I'll do it for you right now because I did. Somebody else got engaged in it too. I must have ran through, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 10, and every one of them. I mean, you just name a celebrity and then type in death hoax next to it, and you're going to get the same website with the same write-up, and it'll be edited or posted that very day that you check it.
That's weird.
It's almost like they have either an automatic update on their website, keeping it relevant for searches, or they keep that shit on standby when they need it. I don't know.
And it looks.
I don't know. It was.
And it looks like it's definitely a old website for sure, because all of a sudden I went to use that Firefox is installing updates. It says, well, thanks Firefox, nice timing. Firefox isn't even open on my computer, and it says we're installing updates. Firefox, I'm gonna have to give you the boot. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. That whole psyop, that's controlled, okay? So that website, there was nothing on Google, and then if you go on to DuckGoDuck, that told me you went on to DuckGoDuck. Who told me they went on to DuckGoDuck?
It was Amy. I saw the comment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Amy was there because DuckGoDuck on my search as well, and you can see that people were starting to tweet and starting to get it going. Oh, all her little 150 million Twitter followers for Ariana Grande. They made note of it today that Ariana Grande has more population than some of these countries that are falling for these false flags. So if they can use that little Baphomet princess as one of their psyop queens, then you know what? We're in. If they continue to do these fake things and then have the celebrity laugh it off.
Oh, we are in big trouble. We are absolutely in big trouble. So I've got this here. I'm going to do another screen share. Screen share. This is on Smoke and Mirrors channel. Ariana Grande, Manchester, Incredible Tales. Now, unfortunately, this platform we're using will not allow me to screen share a video and have the audio come through. But luckily, I've got my phone and my Bluetooth speaker, and I've got it queued up. Ooh. Sounded like gunshot just went off outside my house. Somebody is shooting. There goes another one. Somebody is shooting very close to my house.
Creepy.
Wow.
Well,
Those ain't fireworks.
they're warning you. They're saying, quit talking about this.
I'm not going to be one of those people. I thought it was fireworks. I thought it were firecrackers. Okay.
You better.
Okay, so check this out.
You better make
Go ahead.
note of the time that we heard the bullets in case I have to investigate you getting sniped after this. Okay, bro?
It's 8:53
Ian,
p.m.
take down the time. All right.
It's
Ian, take that time down.
We're PST.
And we are on record, so it's 8:53 p.m. and you all heard it. And you heard me say it. Okay, so check it out.
Your helmet on.
So listen to what this guy says. Concentrate on what he says. Now, I don't necessarily. I'll play this video. That it won't be synced up perfectly, but listen to this.
And sort of looked back where the explosion was, and there were people laid out on the floor.
He looked back.
Turned around to look at my wife to see if she were all right, and she said, "No, I need to lay down."
Honey, I think I need to lay down, she says.
That's not suspicious.
Oh, wait, it gets
I
better.
laid her down on the floor.
He laid her down.
And I've laid her there with her.
He laid there with her. She's too injured to lay down herself, so he feels the need to help her lay down.
Wow.
Then he lies down beside her. Somebody's shooting outside my house right now. Bang, bang's going off.
Is that normal?
Check it out.
My foot's got a gash in the foot.
Got a gash in his foot. No, we can't see a gash in your foot. Looks more like some messy finger painting. If he had his back to the explosion, how did he get a gash in the top front of his foot?
With his red shoes.
Whatever cut him flew around to his front and went through his jeans, the tongue of his shoe, and his sock. Yeah, right. Holy shit, you guys. I might have to go outside and investigate. Somebody's fucking shooting.
She's got a stomach wound.
A stomach wound. Okay, so his wife has a stomach wound. Was she walking backwards?
A leg wound.
A leg wound?
They think she's broken her feet.
Think that she's broken her femur. She got a broken femur but was standing up until hubby laid her down. Did he just leave her on her own so he could do this interview? All right, so there's that.
This is a webpage about femur shaft fractures. Your thigh.
And then he goes to a web page, talks about femur fractures, and it's like a WebMD page or something like that. It talks about the symptoms and how much pain you're going to have, and no, you can't put weight on it, you can't walk, you can't stand. So this guy tells a big freaking tall tale there.
Yes, definitely. You know, one thing that I noticed, besides the red shoes, which seems to have something to do with pedophilia, I also noticed that the young girl, she didn't look quite a woman yet, but getting close. She looked uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, she did.
I mean, seriously uncomfortable. And I'm thinking red shoes, pedophilia, she's with this old geezer. Yeah.
So him and his wife both together took the girl to the Ariana Grande concert. Really? I mean, usually there's one parent as a chaperone, but to have both of them?
Yeah, and he looked old enough to be her grandfather.
Can you guys hear this? Holy shit.
We'll wait for you, Aaron. Why don't you go check it out? Don't get shot.
I'm actually going to open the door to my porch. You might be able to hear it. All right.
Sounds like fireworks.
Yeah, I thought it was fireworks too.
Well, Mark is on his porch with the lovely sound of crickets and frogs behind him, and I'm on my porch.
Hearing gunshots.
Gunshots.
You're in Hell's Kitchen, buddy.
What you get for living in?
Do you hear my frogs? Do you hear the frogs?
I do hear them.
Sorry, they're not bullet frogs. Seriously, are you okay, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean,
all right.
It's silent right now, but
hey,
it's like intermittent. They keep going off.
Just between me and you, I can send a ship over there and save you, man.
Oh, wow.
We interrupt this podcast to bring you Aaron's assassination.
Breaking news.
That's a double A. 11 AA 11. I can say I was on there. That'll be a good viral video.
This is a holiday weekend, right? This is Memorial Weekend.
I just said it sounds like fireworks.
Okay. Because, I mean, I am hearing fireworks like in the distance.
All right.
Broke it. I solved it, okay? It's fireworks. Okay. You're not getting shot. Carry on with this fake bullshit, bro.
Okay. All right, back to our regularly scheduled podcast.
Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Aaron. So I had a Kaboom firework trailer in Ajax, Ontario, and I knew every type of firework there was that we let off here. So I'd be standing there going, "Oh, that sounds like the UFO too. Oh, that sounds like the Kaboominator." And then I'd be selling them, going, "Yeah, you want to put this one with this one." I can tell by the sounds of those fireworks in your backyard there that they didn't let off the Kaboominator. They let off the Trumpstinator.
Trumpstinator, huh?
It's a new one up here in Canada.
Well, it's just the way that they were going off. It was like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
more like
that's
gunshot.
fireworks, bro. That's what fireworks sound like, bro.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah. Woo!
Okay.
Solved that one. Thank God. I'll do a video on that later.
Yeah.
We solved Aaron getting
Okay, so let's move to the dash cam footage, or let's move to something else here, because I have still plenty of stuff to cover, and I know you do too. Okay, so we got the man's voice on the loudspeaker saying everything is fine, as if we were filing out, and it was an American, which is curious. Witness says explosion was behind, gash in the foot. I just played that. Suicide bomber versus planted bomb. Trust One News. 15 missing. Let me see. I had something from Trust One News that I wanted to play, and I don't have a note for exactly what that was. I'm gonna skip along here. Healthcare bill, covered that one. Death hoax comment, covered that, and that. Okay, that's actually page 1. I'm looking at the wrong page here. Step blocks, we covered the step blocks, and those New York. Oh, one of the Manchester victims has a GoFundMe page set up within 3 hours.
Wow.
And I already mentioned
Oh my
that.
gosh, I've just been shot. I better set up a GoFundMe page now.
Yeah, hurry. Get it started. Strike while the iron's hot. And I already mentioned that the homeless man, somebody put up a GoFundMe page for the homeless guy, Mr. Parker, Chris Parker. 33-year-old Chris Parker had a GoFundMe page within 5 hours. I'm pretty sure, I know you guys have seen the dash cam footage that they say shows the explosion, right? You see a tiny flash?
Yeah, it looked like somebody clicked a flash cam. You know, the camera
sorry
flash.
to cut you off. I just sent you the link to the what you were wanting to talk about. The Manchester hoax aftermath update, the fraud continues. It's the one that Trust One News did. Amy shared it with the young lady that they're saying is she's not actually dead, right?
Right.
That's the one you want. Yeah, you want to talk about that.
Yes.
And then the homeless heroes. We got to talk about the homeless heroes too. Lots of time. I'm not there yet on my scroll. I'm still in Ariana Grande.
And what's with the freaking homeless heroes? Is there one or two homeless men here? And by the way, there are two?
So Steve Jones is the other one. He pulled nails out of children's faces and got a new house for it.
Right. Okay. So let me get this straight. When you go to,
I'm on the link right now.
When you go to your typical, fucking concert at an arena, a relatively newly built arena, by the way. When you go to
not letting homeless guys.
You think they let fucking homeless people in or near, sleeping on the sidewalk outside or in the foyer? How the fuck is a homeless man, or two for that matter, Johnny on the spot helping victims? How does that happen?
Good question.
Well, they're in my favorite crisis actors. The two homeless guys made my top crisis actors of this. I don't even know these guys. Just the fact that they use the two homeless guys. Who burnt the bridge down in the I-85 Atlanta bridge collapse? Who burnt the bridge down? A homeless crack smoker. Get over it. They're giving the homeless guys some love. Jones, he pulled nails out of children's faces. Damn it. He should be a hero. I'm Gene Rosen.
Yeah, this is really, this one here from Trust One News is a really good video for anybody who's listening to this broadcast and was interested in digging deeper. This guy here, along with Dabu7 and some other people, have pointed out that this girl here, and she's like one of at least three. At least three. I might have to get my phone and play the audio on this, or maybe I'll unmute it and see if you guys. Let me tell you what. Can you?
Lipstick was posted all over.
Can you hear that?
It's not just social media.
Yes.
Here's the mother saying, "My daughter's in the black and red lipstick. She is safe in Australia. Someone stole her photo." And so it's very obvious they are using, people who live in other countries. They've used dead people. This entire thing is bullshit, and more of it is coming out. Here's another one. I covered this one yesterday in a video regarding, the Ohio girl, but I wanted to add it into this. And there's others as well, I've been told. I have to do more research on this as well, but I wanted to get this stuff out to you as quick as I can because this story is moving so fast, and it's just such a fraud. But a Northeast Ohio father said his daughter's private Instagram pictures were being used to exploit Monday's terrorist attack at the Ariana Grande concert, and she wasn't obviously in, Manchester, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, some other news. Now they're saying the Manchester bomber Salman Abedi phoned his nuclear scientist mom. That's right. His mom was a nuclear scientist. This is being reported by The Sun. I mean, you just can't make this shit up. The story is so absurd and ridiculous. The thinking, what if he got his hands on a nuclear weapon? Give me a break. I mean, that's what they're trying to plant the seeds on. Now there's fears over a second bomb after police found huge chemical explosives. All bullshit. This is all just a charade. Donald Trump vows to prosecute the culprits behind the Manchester leaks because they're now saying that, there was leaks that were leaked to the media and the information never should have come out. And it's just all a charade. It's a distraction because this thing blew this thing wide open. There's so many truther channels that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views showing just how bullshit this entire story has been, okay? One other thing I want to share with you, the Queen visited this innocent victim. This is so fake, it's unbelievable. This girl, nothing's wrong with her. She didn't get blasted by a bomb. She's smiling, laughing. This is 2 days later. The Queen goes there to visit. And then it's just a photo op. It just...
Okay, I'm going to pause the video there because I watched the original video from the BBC where the Queen visits this hospital. She walks in and they have the staff, the couple of ambulance drivers, first responders, nurses, and then they all shake hands and she talks to them briefly. And she says, "Now you guys practiced for this, right?" And they actually responded, and I wrote it down here. Quote: "The Queen visits." The Queen says, "Did you practice this?" And one nurse answers, "Yeah, we had all practiced about a month ago, and it all went like clockwork."
Wow.
Yep. By the way, I want to add another thing. Again, we see somebody in a hospital bed in street clothes. And my friend was a nurse, and she's from England, by the way, and there is absolutely no way a hospital would allow a patient to be in the hospital in their street clothes. The end, period.
Yeah, this is 2 days later, by the way.
Doesn't matter. If they're in the hospital, they're in a gown.
Right.
Period.
I have one question about this. Is that really the Queen, or is that a double?
I think it's a double.
Some of us have suggested that it's a double, and I don't even care. I don't want to go there. I don't care. I don't care. I honestly don't care if it's a double or not, unless you can downright freaking prove it. I don't even. I think it's a dead end.
Well, I'm just thinking she walks pretty well for 90 years old.
Yeah, she gets in and out of the car without any help either. She doesn't even grab somebody's arm to get in and out of the car. She's pretty spry, young. Must be the blood of all those young children. But anyway, she turns. It's not in this video, but in the original, the full-length video where she's talking to everybody, There's a woman sitting in a chair, like the woman you see there, but it's a different woman. She's wearing kind of a pink shirt. She says a bolt or a nut or, you know, a piece of shrapnel or something went through her leg 15 centimeters and came out the other side, and she's scheduled for surgery. She's sitting in a fucking chair in this room.
Right, sure.
Not in a hospital bed, not bandaged up, bleeding.
Sure.
Oh, and by the way, this is 2 days later when the Queen visits. It's 2 days. So we've got a woman who had a piece of shrapnel went all the way through her fucking leg, 15 centimeters, she says, in one side and out the other, and she's scheduled for surgery. First of all, it wouldn't have taken 2 days for her to have that surgery. Second of all, she would have been sitting in a fucking chair.
Nope.
She'd have had her own damn bed and IV drip waiting for her surgery, which would have already been over by now. I mean, like Trust One says, it's just fucking bullshit. It is just absurd. Every part of this story is just freaking absurd. It's complete and utter bullshit, every bit of it.
Yes, indeed.
Manchester is the gift that keeps on giving. Yes, it's fireworks. They're going ape shit out there now. It's fireworks.
Happy 4th of July. Oops, no, wrong one.
So you're the first one to claim that fireworks sound like gunshots.
Hey, you know what? That's why he's hosting this show.
I need a GoFundMe page. I've been traumatized.
Yeah, really?
You need to go back on vacay, bro. You need to go back on vacay.
That's right.
You know what, though, Aaron? There's too much going on. You can't leave.
I know.
You have to keep your 432 views going, man. The rain, 432 in the first hour. How's that sound? You know what the rain is doing out here right now? Can you hear it rain? I'm getting rained on.
No.
My touchpad screen, I've got the keyboard on top of the Queen's face right now on my touchpad screen. The rain is typing right now. He's sending some tweets out, and it's the raindrops on my keypad. I got to get inside. I'll join you guys in 2 minutes. I got my ears on.
No problem.
Aaron,
Okay.
it's only fireworks.
Okay, Jesus Christ. All right. The NHS in England says 116 people have received care, with 75 admitted to 8 hospitals and 23, there's your 23 again, still in critical condition. Now, I need to repeat that for Mark because he's more of a numbers man than I am. And if he hasn't heard that headline, he needs to hear that one.
Oh, indeed.
But just for the record, I also want to throw this out. I've got a quote here from John R. Stockwell, who was a former CIA officer. And he says, quote, "It is the function of the CIA to keep the world unstable and to propagandize and teach the American people to hate and fear." End quote.
That does not surprise me. I might point out that it would be... I like to make sure people understand what propaganda is. It's lies by government.
Right. That's really
okay. You know, that's really what it is.
Further an agenda. Yeah.
You know, propaganda is
Ian,
lies
that's right.
by government.
That's right.
Always an agenda. Always.
It's an agenda. That's correct, Ian. It's
That's
always an agenda. It's not just. I mean, it's one thing to go out and lie. You know, Bill Clinton said, I did not touch that woman. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Okay, that's one thing to lie about that shit, right? But it's completely something else to lie about why we have to go to war, why we got to bomb these people, why we need them.
That's what they did in World War II. They used TV or radio propaganda to sell the war.
And movie theater propaganda, because back then a lot of people went to the theater to get their news.
Right.
There's a difference between one of the puppets lying and the government lying.
Right.
And when the government lies, it is always for an agenda.
Right.
Always.
And when a president lies, it's just for political gain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, they lie for their masters, but you know.
Oh, I gotta pull this one up while we're waiting for Mark to come back. I got something else I want to pull up for you guys. Al Jazeera is getting in on the hoax busting business. I'm going.
Oh joy!
Yeah, really. Sending controlled opposition.
I don't want to have too many tabs open. I'm going to close that one.
That's owned by Rothschilds, I believe, isn't it?
Al Jazeera is owned by Rothschild?
I believe it is. Yeah, or
Really?
it was. It's a Qatari family, but they have links to.
Right, they're probably the front for the Rothschilds.
Qatar, you know, the country Qatar. Qatar.
Yes, Qatar.
Let's see. It's Pacific Century Channel. Fakes. Don't believe these fake stories. Let's see. These fake stories. See if that comes. Am I still screen sharing, by the way? There it is.
Good point.
Yeah,
Blue
it looks like you're still screen sharing.
Okay.
Does Mark should do a 5-minute, 22-second rant.
Yeah, really.
We'll have him do that. We'll say, okay, you got 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Go.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for Mark, I can always replay this. I want to keep things rolling here. You guys, check this out. After a bombing at Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, fake stories flooded Twitter. Here's what you should know. These people were not at the concert. Look at this. Now I'm going to pause this so that you can check this out. Look at this. This little kid here, this tweet here from Kyle Manser, or should it be Manson or Mason? Anyway, it's an anagram for Mason. Everyone, please retweet this. Help me. My little brother Frank. We went to the concert tonight in Manchester, and now we can't find him. Please. And at the very bottom, it's a little bit blurry, but it says 3:56 a.m. -23 May 2017. Okay.
Right. 23rd. Yeah.
Got it.
Now watch this. This guy also. My son was in Manchester. The photo of the boy with the glasses is from 2014 advertisement. Downs Designs Dreams.
Wow.
August.
Oh, jeez.
9:17 p.m. 21st of August 2014. World's first clothing line for people with Down syndrome launches.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez.
That does not surprise me. They always use stock footage. Like they use stock people.
Yeah, like they used
Like Lenny Posner was stock.
Lenny Posner.
Stock
Yes.
kid.
Noah Posner.
He was at a swim park. Wasn't that him? Didn't that turn out to be him at that swim park on that poster?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that.
I'm back. What was the story on this little Downs boy?
Okay, check this out, Mark. This is Al Jazeera is getting in on the hoax busting business.
So, Al Jazeera, yeah.
Okay, fake stories flooded Twitter. Here's what you need to know. These people were not at the concert. Now I'm going to pause this here. Everyone, please retweet this. Help me. This, my little brother Frank, we went to the concert tonight in Manchester, and now we can't find him, please. And in the bottom, right below my time bar, it's blurry. It says 3:56 a.m., 23rd May 2017. Okay?
And the kid's wearing red and the blue.
And then there's this guy also. My son is in Manchester. The photo of the boy in glasses is from a 2014 advertisement. World's first clothing line for people with Down syndrome launches 9:17 p.m. 21st of August 2014.
Yeah, there's a for a 3-year gap. And if he was 3 years older, they wouldn't use a picture of him that long ago.
So here we have here we have the guy in the suit that they featured a moment ago briefly. I'm just making this video, he says, to let you know that I am indeed alive, well and okay here in the United States, not the UK. And in case anybody cares, this is from Pacific Century is the channel that has this particular video, and it's mirrored from Al Jazeera.
Right.
So Al Jazeera was doing the fake news, and that guy's rebutting that he was not the guy that was shown to be in trouble in
right.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Al Jazeera, yeah. So, on October 30th, 2015, there was a fake. It looked real. It was a terrorist attack in Iraq. Post, the New York Times, and Al Jazeera ran the story of the explosion, and then they got wind of a Facebook video that showed an actual working CCTV camera catching the terrorists pre-staging to blow up, and then everyone.
Oh, I've got a video on my channel about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did a video on that, and guess what? I busted those 3 rooms right when everyone was doing the fake news, right? And I said, here's some fake news for you. New York Times, Washington Post, and Global Agenda. I said there was 4. I put the screenshot of 4. I go, who's telling you the real truth? And you know what? New York Times pulled it, and so did the Washington Post. The only channel that kept it up was Al Jazeera. To this day, you'll still find that video of them pre-staging with Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is total CIA.
Yes, yes.
So Omaha Ben is asking who owns Al Jazeera. Ian, wasn't it you that said that you think it's the Rothschild owned, or Mark, did you say that?
No,
I would believe it, yeah.
I was thinking of Reuters. I believe it's owned,
okay.
I believe it's owned by a Qatari family. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep on going on.
And Aaron, and then that goes back to our whole AI conversation earlier tonight when I said AI, Reuters is the big part of the AI. Is Reuters feeds the beast, right? So when you see all these, when you go start Google searching and go DuckGo and wherever else you search, Bing, blah, 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 and you see all them popping up, you notice how all of them, the algorithms are showing 37 dead, 37 dead. And then you flip it every 20 minutes and it'll go 43 dead, 43 dead. So there's some big controlled beast called the Beast in Brussels, Belgium, that I believe is the AI brain hub of the world. And that's the computer system that the intelligence and Jade Helm and AI is set up through the story because they are allowed to lie to us, right? You know?
Yep.
Yes,
the
they
US has
are.
legislation, right? You know, the months.
Yeah.
Smith months.
Yeah.
Okay. So they can lie to us.
Legal propaganda.
The fact that Rothschild and AL are the ones that are hanging the apple and the fruit to the media. They're the ones that are reporting it, and they're getting away with it. You know, hook, line, and sinker, and then we have to bust them on it.
Well, Omaha Ben apparently looked it up, and he said that Al Jazeera, also known as JSC, is a Doha-based state-funded broadcaster owned by the Al Jazeera Media Network, which is partly funded by the House of Thani, the ruling family of Qatar.
So they're crypto Jews, or they're just there?
Yeah, Blue Bloods pipes up and he says, Royal Sunni Jewish family.
So they're what, crypto Jews,
Yes.
or are they real Jews?
Greatest potential. They're still counting hanging chads.
Oh my.
All right, so what else do we have here, guys? Let's see. Let's see.
We might want to discuss the single picture of the blast area.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at that, and what I see is
do a screen share, hon.
Well, I'm not looking at it right now. I'll have to hunt it down. Go ahead and talk, and
don't say things like I'm looking at it, and then say I'm not looking at it right now. What does that mean?
That means I'm looking at it in my mind, okay? Because I remember what it looks like. But if you want me to let's see.
Well, there's a channel called Unbiased and On the Fence who talks about the dash cam footage, and then he looked on Google Earth, and the whole area was under construction, which is no big deal because Google Earth, Google Maps, they only update every 6 months or every year or every year and a half whenever they can get back around. So when you go on Google Earth, you're not looking at any sort of relatively new or recent image. Chances are you're looking at a 6 month, 1 year, potentially up to 2 years old image.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the image up earlier when I had shit. I might still have it when cars attack. Yeah, Hooked on Your Hoax right here. Shit, I don't know where it is in the video. I could try to jump around and try to find it. There's an image that shows like a graphic of the area. Oh, no. Okay, this is Times Square. Sorry, I'm on the wrong subject. Yes, it's the wrong subject. We'll get rid of that one. Crap, now I don't remember what video it was. I had an image up that showed, it was just a graphic of the buildings with an explosion, drawn in there. Hey, Pablo. Hey, Paul. How you doing, buddy? And it showed the explosion in an area that makes no freaking sense when you consider where the dash cam footage shows the light flashes coming from and highlighting it. It just makes absolutely no sense. It might take me a few minutes to find it, so I don't even know.
So how did these pictures get leaked? How were they leaked to the U.S.? What's the story? Does anyone know the story about that?
Can anybody see my screen?
Yes, we got you now.
Okay. All right. Now look around. First of all, do you see any damage on any of the walls?
Or the fluorescent lights?
And especially, that's the pièce de résistance.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no shrapnel. You've got this weird thing. Maybe that's where they dragged that girl that lost her legs, bleeding out of the two of them. I don't know. That doesn't. I mean, what would cause that? I can't imagine. Do you see any bodies that look like they've been blown to bits?
Well, no, and it looks like the guy in the black and yellow shirt just came from the bowling alley.
Yeah, yes.
It's just stock drone footage that they're selling as news.
It has to be, because there is absolutely no evidence of an explosion.
Well, I mean, there's shit all over the floor.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, those lights would have been taken out if there was enough impact to kill 22 people. I'm sorry, they would not. You might have one or two bulbs still operating. You wouldn't have the whole bank of them doing just fine.
Yeah, you'd think that one of those lights would have been put out.
Absolutely, they would have. And I mean, if there's enough force to kill 22 people, somebody pointed out that
nuts and bolts
most go off in the backpacks that are real, maybe kill 2 or 3 people. If it was that powerful that it killed 22 people, and I don't see 22
and injured 119,
and injured 119, that would have been
Where are
forced
all the
enough
people?
to take virtually all of those fluorescent bulbs out. Absolutely. No question about it. So, I just can't believe that this is real. I'm sorry, no matter how hard I try. It's BS.
And I love the caption here. It says, wounded concert goers treated by emergency workers after the suicide nail bomb attack. And I can't read the rest of that. At the Manchester
Arena. Yes.
Well, I only see, 2 or 3 officers standing around. One of them knelt down. I don't see emergency workers treating.
And they've already dragged away the girl that lost her legs.
If it was her.
I'm sure that's what that was. I'm sure that's what it was. Well, she's the only one we've heard of that have injuries that would even remotely explain those marks.
I'm looking at those 2 people in the background that are kind of center screen a little bit to the left. I don't know. I don't know if that's a on the ground. I don't know if those are shopping bags, but they look like white towels or blankets or something covering, people.
Yeah. Kinda, yeah.
One of them looks like it could be a shopping bag. The other one looks definitely like a towel thrown over someone.
Yeah, and
somebody's already had the frame of mind to go and get a towel and cover that person up.
Yep. No, it bears no resemblance to reality. That is my assessment.
Well, if that's the location of the bomb explosion, and you would think so with all the people laying around and all the debris on the floor, and if it killed 22 people, let's see, how many can we see laying down? 1, 2, 3, I would say 4, 5, 6,
less
7,
than a dozen.
8, 9, 10, maybe 11, 12, and if you count the drag marks, that might be 13. Maybe if you panned and zoomed back the camera, there might be another. What would we need? Another 9 more people.
Yeah. Are you sure you see that many people? I didn't see that. 1, 2.
Well, there's a police officer with his back to us, so he's leaned over someone, and you can't see the person except for a little black piece of something between those 2 people.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
And then to the right of them are 2 people. There's one guy in black, and beyond him is someone with a red shirt.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I see it
so
now.
There's 3, right. And then obviously right in front of us is the guy with the plumber's butt, 4, and then below him at the bottom of the screen, there's somebody there, 5, and then we move up again, and there's somebody with the blue shirt knelt down with plumber's butt over somebody. That would be 6. To his left looks like a shopping bag. I'm going to call that 7. And then beyond is somebody covered in towel, 8. And then beyond looks like 1, maybe 2 people, 9. I'll just call that 9. Actually, that looks like a dummy. And then beyond that is another woman sitting. And then beyond that is a couple of people laying down. To the left is somebody else. And then all the way to the left is somebody with a yellow vest over someone up against the wall. I count maybe 13 people there.
Yeah. And but it sure as heck.
Nevertheless, okay. Whatever. That's close enough. If you pan, you zoom. Assuming it was real, if you zoom the camera out, you might find 22 people.
Yeah, but I'm going to absolutely say that this really bears no resemblance to what you would see if a bomb had actually gone off. And I think my biggest clue is there is no bodies dismembered in any way.
Oh, you should see pieces of people all over the place.
Absolutely. And that is not what you should not see every body looking like just somebody who decided, I think I'll take a nap now.
If 22 were killed and 119 wounded, and that's the bomb site, that entire floor should be a pool of blood.
Yes, and there should be damage on the walls from the blast. There's no damage.
And there should only be 1 or 2 lights in operation.
Exactly. There's no way that this is a real scene Absolutely not. And this is the only picture of the blast area we have.
No,
This is
no,
it.
no. There is one picture from outside the doors, looking in.
Is there?
Yeah, the Daily Mail article that I was reading earlier does have one image looking in from outside. And by the way, stop right there. Stop right there. At the top of the screen, the image of the supposed backpack and trigger detonator device.
This here?
Those are the leaked. That's what was leaked. And so why is everybody up in arms over this? Why is this a big deal that this was leaked?
This was leaked? By whom?
Yeah, those are the images that
photos.
Trump vows to, prosecute the leaker. These are the images that were leaked, the backpack and the detonator.
That's so much. That's
the leak.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was trying to ask you guys earlier. Is who leaked it? Who leaked these photos?
Part of the show.
It's just probably fake news, right?
Yes. Yes.
It is. It's distraction.
Yeah,
it's part of the script. It's part of the script.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they knew everybody was onto the backpacks at the Boston bombing, so now they're just throwing out muddy in the waters again, you think?
Oh yeah. Now what is all this? Oh, that's an IRA. That's something I'd expect to see with a bomb.
That's what you...
Yeah, that's an actual bombing, okay? That's not our cute little thing. Oh, what is this? Something. Oh, okay. Somebody's comparing. That's somebody. Okay, I don't know what it is, but yeah, this one here. No. Anyway, I'm going to unshare my screen now.
So, Mark, what have we picked up on this incident that might lead us to the next one? Have you?
Mark's not here.
Oh shit! What happened? Mark Charles is on.
Oh, he dropped. I don't know when he dropped.
My Skype I didn't even notice he left. My Skype just said that he's online. He must have.
He must have dropped off. That has been known to happen in this universe.
Let me just. I'll send him a message on Skype real quick. He is on a satellite, for anyone wondering what happened.
Yeah, he probably lost connection.
Yeah. Well, I just got a Skype notice that said he's online, so he'll probably pop back in here in a moment.
Well, there is another agenda involved in this Manchester hoax as well. It's the election agenda.
Yes.
And Theresa May was down in the numbers against her opponent, and just so happens they suspended the elections because of the incident, right?
Yep.
Funny how that works.
Although, these days it doesn't really matter. Who they want to win will win.
Right.
He says he's coming back. The rain got his computer. Somebody was who was it? Oh, I know. It was Brendan O'Connell. There he is. Mark is back. Mark is broadcasting live from Bohemian Grove, and he's out in the wilderness on satellite. That's why we hear all the frogs and crickets.
That's it.
Mark, are you with us? He's muted himself. So, Brendan O'Connell was comparing the movie. There's an old Clive Owen British movie called Children of Men. You guys had a chance to?
I have never seen it, but I saw his piece on that, and yeah. I'd love to see it.
It's actually a really good movie. But he points out that there's a scene in there where Clive, the character Clive plays, he goes to visit his friend who is crap, just left my brain. What's his name? Anyway, and they're having a conversation, and the guy says, "Look, it's probably the government that did it. Every time a politician has a problem, a bomb goes off."
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So you made me think of Ian when you were talking about the election suspension. Mark, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. The computer just went crazy with the touchscreen. Touchscreen, eh? What touchscreen? I had all these little blurbs coming up and shut me down. I had to dry off the touchscreen on the computer. It's peeing out there. We've been chemtrailed. I told you guys in the chat before. We've been chemtrailed hard out here in Eastern Ontario. So they just released the clouds, and I'm just getting rained 3 straight days now. And my computer couldn't handle it out there with the frog. So my computer's not a frog. I apologize for all the comments about the fireworks because you paid me back with my frogs.
Yeah.
It's been raining here a lot too. We're all kind of going, wait a minute, this is May, and it's been raining for like the last 3 days.
Well, it's raining firecrackers at my house.
So where were we? Where were we? We were with Ariana Grande, weren't we?
So Aaron, you were going to talk about the elections, what I had mentioned earlier.
Oh, no. Well, you brought that up, and it just reminded me of Brendan O'Connell video that he put out where he compared the movie Children of Men, and there's a couple of scenes in there that he compares to the Manchester event in sort of an indirect kind of way. But there's an interesting scene that he points out. Clive Owen character goes to visit his friend. See, again, it was right there on my brain, and then it's can't remember the guy's name, actor. And the guy said, they're having a conversation, and the guy says, it's probably the government that did it. Every time a politician has a problem, a bomb goes off.
Yeah.
So you just made me think of that when you were talking about, the Theresa May, behind on the election.
And that was another reference to the 522 that I saw too, Aaron, was when the election, when they came to have that snap election vote, and that day in Parliament they had 522 votes for and 13 against, 522 and 13. And that's when I started going, 522, they just did that. And I've been seeing 522, and I said, something's going down on 522, and it's going to be, and all of a sudden I said at the end, I go, they're not going to do Britain again, are they? And then they did. I go, damn. I wouldn't have, I would have thought, man, you're going to, like I thought Manhattan, the Times Square thing, that's small chump change. That was them just practicing their CCTV, CGI, get it in synchronicity, and then have the God channel shut down my video. That damn God. Oh my God.
That's just bizarre.
Oh God. They took away my video, the Kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, but the fact is that this Manchester one, this is Sandy Hook on puberty, and when the Sandy Hook girls got pubescence.
Yeah,
Ariana Grande.
Well, it definitely has elements of all of the last few, big ones, right?
Yeah,
Brussels.
true.
It's got Brussels. It's got the train attack. It's got lots of. What's that?
I came back into the conversation. You're talking about the election and the president, and in that video that I did today, I went over to the Bilderberg because I called it Bilderberg 2017. And then I said the best crisis, or I said, the factors of Manchester. And that's when I did the homeless guys and our boy Zach Bruce, that crazy bugger. When you look at what's been going on prior to, okay, you're seeing it now. It's all being played out. So the 522 is going to be their new Sandy Hook rallying cry. And I think that we're all seeing that, and more, like I was saying earlier in the chat too with you guys, I think more and more people are waking up.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, Mark,
the president, when you have the president, the elections end at the Bilderberg. When you look at their agenda from 2016, last June 2016, they're coming up to their meeting. And when you look at the agenda and the last 4 items, which I talked about in the video, they ended it with the U.S. election. And in it, they talked about cybersecurity. They talked about obviously geoengineering. They were talking about, but when they talking about the U.S. election, that was pretty well. You know, they get sent on their way with their deeds, and then they take it back to the headquarters of the Masonic lodges, and that's when it's dealt out. That's when it's all dealt out.
Yeah.
In orders at the Bilderberg meeting, you can see the agenda. If you look at it, you can see what their agenda was covered for this year. They played it all out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Up to the presidential elections when they put in, you know, Trump was born to be the president. It's all they're all handpicked.
Yeah,
they were all
Yes,
handpicked.
they are.
Right?
So, Mark.
Anyway, that's what I have on that.
I asked you a question and you had disappeared. I didn't realize that you had dropped out of the chat. And our friend New Being.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah.
Excuse me. Actually, it was Allison Twiss O'Neill said she keeps hearing stuff about September 23rd. But the question I posed to you was, when I didn't realize you were gone, I was just asking you, what in this event have you noticed, if anything, that might lead us to the next event? And on the note of Allison's question, I know that you did your most recent video where you mentioned 9/23, the September 23rd, and you also said that that's a Shemitah. We have a Shemitah ending on 9/23. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you don't know that, there's a major.
You have a Shemitah.
Solar eclipse.
Yes.
Scheduled for that day as well.
Right. So that's why that date is, and it only comes around every 7,000 years. So we all know what the number 7 represents. So when these numbers and dates fall on these religious holidays, on Mother's Day, and then we had that, and it was like a Beltane festival, right? It was on Mother's Day. I talked about the Lag Bomer Day, Lag Bomber. I called it the Bomber. May 14th was one of their holidays, and it was a fire ritual, just like Beltane Day is on May 1st. May 14th is the Lag Bomer Day for the Shemitah, the Israeli, another one of their holidays, and they had a synagogue took it on the chin. A 10-year-old washed-up synagogue in Manhattan got burnt down that night, and that was a sacrificial burn down for them because they all like the energy of fire.
Yes.
Right? That's why you always take a look at your Jewish holidays. And there's the Shemitah is a big one, and it's 9/23. It ends on 9/23. It actually starts on September 22nd, which is a nice 9/22. It's like this one. Lag Bomer Day they all start at sundown, sunset, sunrise to sundown the next day. That's the way they worked, and that was Lag Bomer. So after the sun went down on Mother's Day, the 14th, that's when they lit the church on fire in Manhattan. Yeah.
So
look at the sunrise to sundown, and that's the 9/23. There'll be one in Canada, but I'm looking at right now. I think my spidey senses are because of the Mormon. We had the Mormon related with Kurt Cochran in England, a monk beer, and we had the Oroville Dam go down, and it was Oroville is one of the monk's 10 beers, and this guy was drinking a monk's beer. His mom and dad, who are missionaries with the Mormon Church from Salt Lake City, and we had Freemason Wells, who starred in the Brussels bombing. He's one of my favorite crisis actors of all time, and he in the original Brussels 322, and then we had the Britain 322 with Kirk Cochran drinking the beer from Salt Lake City, visiting his parents who are missionaries from Salt Lake City, and I had Freemason Wells is from Salt Lake City, and he was a missionary, and he was a 3 times a Cat with 9 life survivor of the French bombing, the Boston bombing, and the Brussels bombing, and he's the Cat with 9 lives. And if you haven't seen that video on my channel, I watch it because
he blow up real good. He's gonna blow me up real good.
That's the Cat with 9 lives.
That is good.
Freemason Wells, he blows up the bomb. He's gonna blow up the bomb real good.
So that's Freemason Wells. So I've got my monks with beer. I've got the Salt Lake City. We've got the Moab, the mother of all bombs, and we have Moab, which is a bad radioactive tourism place where they film the Westworld TV series. It's a beautiful place. It's the #1 retirement community in the world, but it also is a radioactive nightmare. John Wayne filmed the movie The Conquistadors, The Conquerors there, and the whole people that made the film died of cancer within the next 20 to 30 years. So it's all interrelated. That's why I think Salt Lake City, with what's going on with the Mormons pulling out of the Boy Scouts of America, that's big in the news. So you've got them leaving the pedophiles, and then there'll be retribution. You've got the Church of Scientology in crisis right now, and then the girl that got killed in New York, she was a Church of Scientologist, a young 18-year-old, smoked, and then we had the big divorce between that star. I did the video on that, whatever her name was, Liam, whatever. She was, no, the other one, whatever her name was, the very public divorce. It was, yeah, and that was one of my videos where I have so many thumbs down on it because the Church of Scientologists trolled it.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, really. You got trolled hard.
I got hit hard on that one, but I took it like a champ because I don't get trolled too hard.
Well, listen, let me throw this out there before you get too far, and I'll let you get back to what you're saying. This is I'm screen sharing right now. For some reason, this chat box is not letting me copy and paste. I can't paste anything at all. But I wanted to tell Allison and anybody else interested in September 23rd. So if you guys are listening and you're interested, check this out. Do a YouTube search.
12, verse 1.
Mark, I left you the link in the Hangout chat, the private chat. It's the very first link on the top there. This is the video I want you to watch on September 23rd. 7 reasons September 23rd, 2017 is the greatest.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. This is actually a really good video. It'll creep you out a little bit. But this if you're interested and you want to know about September 23rd, watch this video. So everybody listening, Allison Twist, all you guys, if you're interested in September 23rd, 2017, watch this video. And I'm doing a screen share so that you can see what I have here, because for some reason it's not letting me paste anything in the chat box. Otherwise I would have dropped the link and told you guys already. So here it is, and I'll turn it back over, Mark, finish what you were saying. You guys just go and do a YouTube search, and here it is on screen for you to see. It's the Adrian Landauer channel. 7 reasons September 23rd. Just search for that and watch that video. And good stuff. Good stuff. So there's that. Back to you, Mark.
That's that'll be a well-worthy 18-minute video. Like I said, with this, we're seeing the symbolism of the Mormon Church. We're seeing the symbolism of the beer truck that went into the Stockholm terror attack, the beer lorry truck. Okay, we're seeing this guy, the computer hacker, our boy Marcus there. He was showing the first pictures that they were showing the selfies. Another thing with grained videos. I mean, he needs my LG for $129 Life is Good cell phone to take better pictures of his selfies, drinking a beer. Yes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We had the British hospitals, funny enough, were the first ones that were hit by the malware, the crybaby-aware attack, if you recall. And then guess who came into play heavy in the Manchester side was the British hospitals. I remember them specifically telling us the day after it happened, we had 6 children go here. We had 12, or most children, 12 of them went to the hospital for sick children. Of course, they were playing the sick children card, right? So we have that. So once again, you're coming right around full circle with the beer. What happens, like my buddy Joe B says, and I've done a video on this as well. What are the 5 things in the Depression, in the Great Depression, that still thrive? Movie studios, and the other one is what? Alcohol and beer. They do not go anywhere. That's why you're seeing beer in the Psyops as well. So all of it interrelates to my 2 Mormon friends, Freemason Wells and Kurt Cochran, who perished on the Westminster Bridge attack, drinking a monk beer, and he's now gone, but his story continues, and his number is very interesting in Gematria as well. So you can look at Kurt Cochran, the Mormon, and that's why I think before anything else happens that's going to be big, Salt Lake City gets one. And you heard it here. Salt Lake City. And Toronto in September.
Very possible.
Well, I find the Shemitah ending on September 23rd to be additionally remarkable. I hadn't even heard about that. I mean, I know about the Shemitah, but I had no idea that it was September 23rd of this year was the end of another Shemitah, because it's a 7-year cycle, and it's a 7 times 7 year cycle, and on every 7th cycle is the what do they call that? The Jubilee, right?
Yes.
And Omaha Ben just said a minute ago that we are currently, according to the Jewish calendar, we are in the year 5777. Thank you for that, Ben.
Right now, Aaron, there's
apparently
there's 22 to 23 people watching right now, down to 21. So your numbers are saying it all there. Remember when we did the 33 show? It was at 33 the whole show?
Yeah, it was. It hovered at 33 almost the whole show.
And now we're hovering at 22, 23.
Yeah.
And that's what I let off my video today with. I said, I love how Google plays with my algorithms, and I show in 23, and I'm showing 231 views, 23 likes, and one dislike. So I started my video off with, why am I seeing the 23 all the time? And then I went into all the 23 videos that I made. I'm going, I'm seeing 923 or 239, and I saw 523, and I saw 522. So next up is 923 for me anyway. It's a big one. I've seen it for 3 years now, 923. That's why I've done all those videos on it. So I'm just going to give on a 923. Big, big, big. Sorry to be such a fearmonger.
Hey, I just put out a video the other day titled "Dear God, Not Again," LOL.
It popped up while I was watching it, while I'm sitting there. It popped up for me to watch it, eh?
Yes.
I just checked my channel and I had 911 subs.
I'm gonna watch it after. Yeah, I'll make a comment on it.
Hey, it's only 11 seconds, so it's not gonna waste much.
Yeah. Oh God, where are we now, eh, Aaron? Oh God, where are we now? This is God. I'm gonna ban your videos. This is the kingdom of God from the Church of Scientology. If you show the man in the white talking and walking on his cell phone, ordered pizza while the car in New York Times Square drives by me, I will ban your video from YouTube.
Well, we've had some good luck tonight. Our little resident troll only stopped by and gave us one thumb down.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's been good chatting with you, Mark, as usual. Global.
Mark, it's an absolute pleasure. You're a freaking genius. You've got some real skills going on. You have an ability to retain a tremendous amount of information, and you put together some remarkable videos. And we love you around here, man. We appreciate what you do, and thanks for your time, buddy.
We adore you.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
It's all.
Thanks for being
It's
you.
all fun, eh? No, as long as nobody gets hurt. Nobody died, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, as long as nobody dies and nobody gets hurt.
That's right.
Rumba, greatest potential.
All right, you guys, listen.
Rumba. Hold on a sec. Where is that? My whole
we're in no hurry, man.
Hey,
What do you got?
I just got my pictures back up, right? So this is the Drake. This is the Guile Jester from Drake. Guile Jester, all right. Hermes link, ice blue mink, tat on my ribs like I do not know what permanent is. They want me gone? Wait for the kicker. Bury me now, I only get bigger. That's wood to my nigga. Yeah, October firm in the cut. Stay at the top like I'm a stuck. Giving it up. She wanted to get married tonight, but I can't take a knee because I'm wearing all white. Me and my broski are twins, but we don't look alike. I don't take naps. That's me, man. Me and the money are way too attached to go and do that. Must relax. That and the spliff put me right back. I gotta unpack. Virginia Black. Amy, look up Virginia Black right now.
Okay, will do.
On the Gematroninator. What's Virginia Black? Yeah. I could go make enough money off my back. I gotta unpack Virginia Black. Go make enough money off and that, not even the rap. What's the facts? Contract max. I gotta bring that shit back. So here's right here where Drake is saying, and watch this happen in the next little while. I could go make enough money off that and not even rap. So that's him telling you he can leave the music industry, make enough money and not even rap. What's that? Facts. Because his contract is at the max, he says. Contract max, I gotta bring that shit back. So his contract is maxed out. He's made all his money. So guess what Drake is due now? Has he had a blood sacrifice yet? Did he leave the show tonight?
Brilliant, man.
Cool.
Well,
that's it.
I looked it up on the.
And he sang that song for Manchester, and you don't think these things are all scripted? We know that in this chat room. We know that.
You know, this whole freaking world is scripted, and I'm creeped out by the thought.
Yeah, we're in a matrix.
I mean, we really freaking are in some kind of weird matrix, because if you have eyes to see and you recognize the stuff that we recognize, then you really do start to recognize that literally every freaking thing is tied together, related, scripted, and it's enough to creep you out.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure being back again.
We got some new people. Leo Wyson, New Being, it's always good to see you. Omaha Ben, it's always good to see you. Greatest Potential. New person just popped in right now. Shama DB. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Sorry if I butchered it. But thanks everybody. Blue Blood Guitar, and Bella was here earlier, and Allison Twist. You guys are awesome. Big P will stop by for a little while. We love you guys. We love all you guys. Pam Z was here. Pablo, love you, Pablo. Love that guy. And just thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. Thanks for your little info gems that you drop in the chat box. And Eddie B, hey, Eddie B. I didn't even notice you in here. I don't know if you're still listening, but hello, Eddie B. You guys are awesome. Wade 57 was here. A couple of people I know, a couple of people I don't know.
Love to all of them.
Busy tonight. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here, and we do love you all.
Absolutely.
Ian, are you ready to take us out?
Should I just play the old one, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, man, just play the stock footage. The one Fox News uses.
What about the one that I did?
I just want to let everybody know that I'm alive and well.
Yes.
I was not in the UK this weekend. If you see,
or shot by the fireworks.
I wasn't in Pakistan, so if you see my picture anywhere related to any of these events, it wasn't me. And by the way, if you guys want to continue to hang out in the chat box, the chat will stay live for, I think, 5 or 10 minutes after we end the broadcast, and I'll get in there and engage the chat a little bit more when we're done with the show. So thanks, everybody. Blue Blood, it was always good to see you. You're a good dude. We love you. Allison Twist and all the people I mentioned, Potential, Big P, love you guys, New Being, Omaha Ben. You guys are awesome. You guys are what makes the show.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Kill them.